might be in a bit of trouble. Can't quite find their way in here. Let's just try in the corner. This is kind of honestly, I mean, this is a shotgun. This is a shotgun. But Hansen, he steps out of the way. Time. There's one. For the next as well. Gets the flush. That's huge. Has to go for the reload though, and now rejected. On the revenge path. They lose one player, but they do shut him down.
Oh, that's disappointing, man. You know, it's just one guy in there, just repeat. They did set up the compound quite well in terms of the two extras denying the entry towards the window. So if they get crashed on, that's how they defend versus 9C. But that is a situation where you should be able to hold out as 4 and just refrag onto the player. The fact they lose one there is really bad. From a central position like this, it's really not good. I also think that there is something to be said here about 9C, where although, you know, they're on 87 points, they've had some good games, there is a lot of impatience from the squad. If they can't find a good position early into the match, they will just send it. And oftentimes, they will just find themselves in really sticky spots on the map.
I mean, to be fair, you don't expect the team to be bridge camping you on the east in that scenario, right? Like, it may be really confuse them, but that's the sort of thing, I guess, you also can't afford to be able to get confused in a scenario.
I mean, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about sending center.
Oh yeah, but like after that, you're like, oh, we got to go. There's obviously a big roadblock ahead of us. We've just got to go for a mad dash, right?
You can also just play on the edge.
You must assume if there's a team still on that bridge, that there are teams ahead of them, right? So you assume that the ground in front of them is very, very full. I'm really trying to give them as much leeway as possible here, and I will admit, maybe I shouldn't. Papram Supermassive though, down to their last player against Loops, and they're not having a good time of it. That is going to be Papra Supermassive eliminated, and Loops are up to 9 elims, Blank. You said they were the team that's most in danger of dropping down. Well, they are certainly acting like it.
Yeah, and again, the more points that Loops gets in this match, the harder life becomes for a lot of our teams underneath. I mean, for Reject and Tiamba, I think Tiamba, it's done now. I think it is done. I think for Tiamba, it is almost impossible for them to get back up towards that top side. Genji towards GS, who are also chasing. I think GS are also struggling, but likely will retain a place.
They're moving in. I think Redox
inside the bottom 5.
Quick has to hit the deck. Falcons know exactly where he is. That'll be pinged out on the vehicles, but they are pulling back a little bit. They can't take him down. That is the last player of GS. That is APG rocking up to this one as well. The Falcons on the far side really causing some hurt, some pain there. So they're up to 5 elims. APG as well, looking to tip themselves up and over. They've broken that barrier that we were talking about. They're over 140 now. One more at least. Dami under pressure from these nades, has to reposition with the Falcons flying into that far hillside as well. He's not going to last too much longer. Up to 142, and the placements are going to kick in soon as well.
Yeah, for Alpha, all this is right about now is just not giving up first place. The jump up in prize pool between second and first place is quite a lot in most PUBG Mobile tournaments. We still reward our top 3 very handsomely, but it's usually first place who does take the biggest cut of the prize. And I think that, to be fair, for Alpha, they were playing it fairly slow because they knew that they were holding on to first place. But as soon as D Plus started turning up the heat, they knew they needed to get a little bit of a game in. And this one's been good. I mean, even taking the opportunity to move over towards Observatory, that's very unlike Alpha Gaming. Okay, takes Krypton along with him in the vehicle. I think that, you know what I would quite like to know is how many vehicle eliminations Doc's had this group green. I think we're up to 6 or 7 now at this point, which is more than I think we've ever had in any one tournament.
Oh dear. He is certainly a terror behind the wheel. Whoever gave him a driving license, I'm sure they're regretting that one. As we take a look over towards the rest of this game, though, teams are starting to fall fairly quickly now, Blank. The hilltops to the north, being fairly convincingly under control by D+. It's Inner Circle. Again, that fight for the top spots here. 3rd place, very, very closely fought between Goat and Inner Circle. Losing players here would be nasty. They've already taken a lot of damage, and as D+, they're up against, Osal has the off angle, and Goat are taking shots as well. Oh no, Inner Circle having a really bad time, but they've still got Falak. What can he do here? Favian close by, but backing off to find chips on the res.
D plus. Chips goes down. Nado the top towards Falak does get a lot of damage done.
I see. Palak down.
Avian.
Palak ko down kiya.
Falak will find it. So that's in a circle. Taking a lot of damage. They should be able to hit chips back up. It's nice to see.
I mean, this is really Reject's game right now with one player from inner circle to fall down. It's D plus with a central position. It's kind of D plus versus Reject again, Blank. In this circle, the southeast side that we see on the picture-in-picture is APG versus Falcons. P24 is going to give it a good go.
APG versus Falcons.
They get taken down in response, and yeah, that's going to get flushed out. IQ is actually still alive in all of this. He did manage to get out of that fight. I am still focused, though, on this fight on the southeast side as we zap on over to it. Falcons with 4, APG with 4 as well. Haven't really been able to find success on either front of that. And APG disengage. They're moving up to the hills to the north and maybe look at a fight D+.
I think for D+, try this fight between D+ and Alpha Gaming, which probably will break out towards the end here, will be the fight of the day. Very excited to see this one happen. Falcons need to break wide, though. Currently, Zhol is holding this spot. For the Falcons, we did speak about this at the start of the game, that there is a big chance to jump up above Inner Circle, above GOAT into that top position. And honestly, if we get Alpha Gaming, D+, Falcons in the top 3, whew, what a lineup that will be going through to the grand finals. It'll be unreal.
I mean, I don't think going into today anyone would have called Falcons with a chance. They
But
looked
this
a little bit
last day,
lackluster.
it's the last day always. It's always the last day for the Falcons.
A potent resurgence built
Top 3
within
आने
them.
का कोशिश करो, top 3 आओ, ऐसे भी आओ.
It's curious as well because usually Alpha Gaming's like the team
I
that
know,
is
it's
the
phenomenal,
last day
phenomenal.
champions, where in that final day, Alpha Gaming is known to put up a disgusting performance. But right now, they are taking 2 knocks straight away. Falcons equally are suffering versus the Wolves. Just Doran here, actually.
बोलने वाले को बता दो भाई फाल्कन का चांस
Top
खत्म
3, the
किया भाई
Falcons,
फाल्कन का
APG,
चांस
DK.
खत्म
Oh,
किया
yes. Hang on a minute.
फाल्कन का
Doran,
चांस खत्म किया
you can't be doing that.
अब एपीजी वर्सेस
Yeah,
आईसी का
there's
भी
the
एक ही
Doran
बंदा
door
बाकी है
right in the face.
उसी का भी एक बंदा है भाई आओ आओ आओ
I'm sorry they didn't give that too much
दिख
fanfare.
गया
It,
मतलब
it
आईसी का भी काम
honestly,
होता
it felt
I
like,
see
oh,
that
okay,
we
he's gonna
can't,
get 1,
sir.
2, and then
आईसी भी
Falcons
गई
will clean this up. Surely. You do
Normal,
not see
normal.
one
अरे इसको
v4
player
in
लगा, इसको
international.
position
I
अच्छे भी
cannot
मारने
believe
को
Doran
बहुत
pulled that off.
AQB
I-
सीधा AQB क्या कर
Blink,
रहे
did you miss it,
बैठे
right?
रहे AQB
Doran
AQB
was-
मिली भाई बैठे रहे वहीं पे बैठे रहे
Oh my
पता मत
God,
चलने दे
okay.
किसी को कि
Well,
तुम है वहाँ पे बैठे रहे
Wolves,
बैठे रहे
again,
But
not
they
really
must have
probably
been
going to get
able
too much out of
to.
this
But
game,
they-
but certainly ruining it
Last
for the
time
Falcons.
जो team
The
रहेगा
decision
तुम
to crash onto
निकल
Doran for the Falcons,
लाइक
though, might be
मजा आ
an
जाएगा
interesting one here, Blank. It feels like,
I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
okay, sure you can
बैठे
transition
रहे
towards
बैठे रहे
Reject
AQB
later
बैठे
on.
रहे कोई गरज नहीं है कोई गरज नहीं है AQB हिलने की
They're right on
I
the
think
edge of the
it's
circle
okay.
with it, though.
Thank you
I
thank you
mean,
thank you
Alpha had that lineup. They couldn't really crash that way on the east. Also, if they do that, Reject have sight lines. I think you don't see many players, if at all, over towards the silos. So you just
वो
send it
अच्छा
and
क्रिकेट
you get
मारती है मार दिया
soloed.
अभी भी AQB सर्वाइव
I don't think the decision making was poor.
जोन अपने पे आ
I
जाएगी
think the
जोन अपने पे आ जाएगी,
gunfight
मुझे
was
लग रहा है।
terrible. But the decision making, I don't think there was an
आएगा,
issue with
आएगा,
it.
आएगा, जोन अपने पे आएगा।
I mean, we need a replay of that at some
अच्छा,
point.
आगे
I
दे
think
दे
the desk
दे
will have that
दे
locked
दे
down
दे
because
दे दे दे
Doran's going off right now.
तो भी ठीक
Maybe he's
है
going to do it again.
AQB के लिए
He's got a
ठीक
lot
है
of smoke to play around. He's going to get
वो
up
भी
to the
AQB
wall.
के लिए
Reject
ठीक है।
don't want to let him cross, but
शायद वो जोन के अंदर है
Too many
ही
options
या
right now
नहीं है
with the smoke card.
I do like for Doran, he's now just using the entirety of Falcon's utility. So it's 20 meters.
oh dear.
AQB मचा दे भाई AQB बैठे AQB बैठे AQB
I'll show you guys how to use
मुझे तो लोग
utility.
कैप कर रहे हैं लेकिन चलेगा आपको टॉप 11 आना चाहिए
Doran.
चीज़ जाने का
Reject's like, where's he getting all these
इससे भी
smokes
टॉप
from?
11 आ जाओ भाई
Why
Is it more than one dude? What's going on?
some kind of nimbus cloud off in the distance?
तो 3 मैच बाकी 3 मैच
Oh dear. Well, he's made it to the wall.
3 मैच बाकी है इसके
Great
बाद।
job. We did it.
so many smoke.
भाई ये
That's
क्या
insane.
वेट
OG getting found on their last player. That's Goat to pick it up. Goat have been down on the belt buckles for a while as well, trying to crawl across the open ground. 5 teams remain. 8 eliminations for APG as well on this match. They've only got 2 remaining.
way.
आठ किल मारा है
Come on,
लोगों
you've
ने
got to
आठ किल
You've got to.
होता है मुझे
You
आठ किल
cannot be allowed to do stuff like this. Kraken has to hit the deck. They can't really take free fights here.
भाई भाई क्या मारा है
You can't do this.
क्या
You
मारा
can't do this.
है
This is PMGC. It's not allowed.
क्या मारा है
Someone put him
बोल
to
दे
bed. It's his bedtime. Surely he's out of this game.
भाई
No, Doran, stop it! Goats go down to the Giant Slayer. What is this man doing?
Ay,
He
क्या
is
कर रहा है?
absolutely crazy.
Oh, dear me.
क्या कर रहे हैं
Doran will not let you get a foot
OG
into
OG
the
remote
circle.
gaming OG
1v4 into a 1v3.
Like,
This
like,
is
like,
magic on the main stage.
OG,
We
thank
talked
you,
about
man.
rabbits out of a hat, but right now,
अबे no!
Doran's making
No,
this
no,
look
अबे,
easy.
बहुत अच्छा
Gets
बात है।
up to the wall
क्या
as
अभी लोग
well.
इन्हें मारने में लोग
Pretty
मार
much should go down to this nade,
फिर आज
though, but
फटेगा फटेगा
goodness me, what a
बोला
game it's
फट
been
जाएगा
from him.
फटेगा
Okay.
फटेगा मैं बोला फटेगा
Oh my days! It looks like the nightmare's ended though.
If you're
And
top
now
of
we're up
every
to the
day, don't
consoles.
do it. ये
APG
खेलना
on
मार
2
दे
players alive. They've got a
ये
lot
खेलना
less. D
मार
plus
दे
again
closer
in
is
this
the
late
Spanish
game
one.
on a military
Spanish
island
one.
circle.
हाँ,
They
Spanish
find
one.
top, and now they're looking for Ziol around the corner as well.
Confirm
Third
Spanish
place
one.
guaranteed for APG. At least that will put them over
Ziol बाकी इसको भी
150.
spot कर ले
Or maybe not quite.
वहाँ से
If they can
RCB
get
ने
another
RCB
elite,
मार दी
That's
उसको।
what they'll be looking for, but still very, very close.
RCB
Very
मार दी उसको।
comfortable to be in the top 3. Our first
Zone
team
भी
to
नहीं है ना, ऊपर से
really, truly
ऊपर
lock
zone
it
भी
down
नहीं।
towards
Third
those
position
spots.
भी
D plus
ऊपर
want
है।
to join them though. And with the
OG
chicken
OG
dinner, you
OG
think they might be able to.
OG भाई लेकिन OG मर गई यार OG
Just
मर
get
गई
in a late game circle.
मर गई OG
6
यार OG का
eliminations.
अच्छा खासा करो कैंप
I
में
mean,
था
it's
ना तो OG
almost
का
more
एटलीस्ट
important
प्लेसमेंट
for
पर
Reject than
निकल
anybody else right now.
प्लेसमेंट पर निकल जाता है
Absolutely,
एटलीस्ट
it's
प्लेसमेंट पर
Reject, they
निकल
won the
जाता
chicken
है
dinner,
OG
but they got 2 big dogs in the lobby, and right now they're
ये
the
भी करो
Chihuahuas.
क्या बंदा क्या
Let's see
टॉप
if
लेवल
they
दिया
can make it happen.
Top
This
level
is the
मिले?
best of them. Zol
It's
takes some
only-
shots off
it's
towards the
only-
distance.
it's only
They
8
do
minutes
have the
बाकी
low
है।
ground to play at the moment.
8
to
minutes बाकी
Reject.
है,
They have
दिया,
vehicles
दिया,
as well,
दिया,
which is
top
the
को
main
revive दिया।
thing. But D Plus continues
Top
to
को
send
revive
nades their
मिल रहा
way,
है।
keep them backed off from their position.
Top को
D
revive
Plus
मिल रहा है,
looking
लेकिन ये
to
लोग
fight
जैसे
out
निकलेंगे
for those
वैसे लोग
bragging
खा
rights at the top of the tables.
जैसे निकलेंगे वैसे लोग
I mean,
खत्म हो जाएंगे
Reject
सीधा
have the
खत्म
center of the circle though. D plus
ये
are sure they've
बोला
got
ना
a high ground position, they've got an
चलो
angle, but
चलो एटलीस्ट इन लोगों
they're
ने
gonna have to
वो नहीं
move. The
दी
points denied from APG.
वो नहीं दी
It's mean.
They
It's
actually
mean.
took. They actually picked
Elimination
up
point
the
नहीं
res
दिए
in
लोग,
order
कुछ
to
का
deny an
elimination
extra
point नहीं
point
दिए
there,
जोन से मत
which is kind of nasty. To the blue zone it goes, but now
ठीक है बॉल में
versus
स्टैंडिंग
Reject. Already a good game for Reject, but they
ठीक है
desperately
बॉल
need
में
this chicken
स्टैंडिंग
dinner
आगे
to
दिन में
stay alive in this tournament,
Akul,
to jump up
Akul.
towards that 11th place bubble. Nate's going a little bit long onto Reiji. Downhill, it's always a little bit tougher.
फैबियन है ना फैबियन अच्छा खेलता है बहुत अच्छा
For
खेलता है
Reject, they need the chicken dinner. Like you say, it's imperative that they get it. It's not a case of, oh, it would be nice for Reject to have a chicken dinner. At this point in time, it is a case of it's required. It is a necessary procedure for
Fabian must have been
Reject
well
to grab a
executed.
chicken dinner here to finish out this game and give them that chance. Because I think even with a chicken dinner here, it
ये लोगों को
doesn't
भी
take
पोजीशन
them
मालूम
out
है
from
ना
the bottom
डीके वालों को भी पूरा
five.
पोजीशन मालूम
But
है
it
कि कहाँ
will
है
be
क्या
the
नहीं सब
first
मालूम है
stepping
डीके
stone
वालों
for
को
them.
सारा पोजीशन
D
और
plus
इनके पास एडवांटेज है ना
starting
एक
to run a
मैच
little bit lower
एक्स्ट्रा
on those
इनके
nades. You can see they've only got 3 remaining. Reiji cooking another. If he finds a knock, this would be huge.
Extra
The
match
Molotov
landing,
probably a
extra-
wiser decision. Force
extra-
Reiji off of the tree. The question
Wait,
is, does it
wait,
land
but
on
this over
spot?
and
It
over
definitely
again.
did. Look at that damage to
जो
Reiji. He has to fall
पहला
all the way back to the vehicle.
opening
That's going to be a
निकालेगा
lot
उसको
easier for D plus to go on towards.
बहुत
They
ज़्यादा
know the
chances
damage is
मिलेगा।
there, and they have to go over the top now.
बचाओ,
Right now,
बचाओ,
towards the
बचाओ,
right.
बचाओ,
D
बचाओ।
plus trying to stop Reject from
बचाओ,
getting on
बचाओ,
in.
बचाओ।
Reiji looks for the spray down, a wild rollout here, and Apollo finds it. Osal is down. They do not find the backlines. They haven't got a knock yet. And
क्या
there's another one on the
इसको
Fabian.
जाने की
D plus is
target
starting
को?
to fall blank. It's now
वो ये नहीं
2v2.
छोड़ेगा, दूसरा
Reject have the
three
inside of the
निकाल-
circle. They are desperately climbing towards those tables, towards that 11th place. But Reiji will finally go down to the nade. One more left. Look on for Apollo. Not
बचा।
with the chance here, and it's going short of the tree truck.
तरीके का उसे निकाल
Ties
के
down,
डीके
leaving it all
निकाल
down to
डीके
Apollo
निकाल
in a 1v2.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
impossible
yeah,
task
yeah.
ahead of him. Pulls the
Yeah,
pin on the
yeah, yeah.
grenade. Reject
Yeah.
looking to reject defeat here in the face of
हाँ,
impossible
डीके बोला
odds.
ना डीके
No,
डीके
It's not
they
meant
can't
to
quite
be.
do it.
अभी दो चिकन हो गए हैं
Oh no, they can't get all the way across the line. D plus. Take it away from them. Still, not a smile in sight. They are so cool, calm, and collected. Into the top 3 with them. They looked pretty solid before. Now even more so for Reject. In tatters. A lot of points, but is it enough?
Absolutely not. I think for Reject, they did get some of the flushes towards the end there. 6 points total. You can see that they are absolutely dismayed about that one. But again, it is a little further down on this journey for them, because it's a long way coming that they need to go to get out from that bottom 5, but they're getting some successes today. There's still 3 more matches to make it happen, but Reject historically, those Miramars haven't been fantastical for them. I can only hope that they can continue here, John, with these strong performances. But for D+, it is another big game in the pocket.
अच्छा ठिकाना है ये भी अच्छा ठिकाना है बहुत अच्छा ठिकाना है मस्त ठिकाना है देखने के लिए और भी बहुत अच्छा ठिकाना है बहुत अच्छा ठिकाना
And with that insane chicken dinner, I think D+ might have just secured their position to the grand finals. And how do they win this game, Max? Back against the wall, so little time left. They had to hit those knocks, crazy rotation on the end, but then Chips just said, nah, I'm gonna hit these shots, and they shut Reject down. What a game.
Oh wait, D+1? I was just looking at Doran. No, but genuinely, for D+, such a good game, playing this high ground position for a majority of this game, right, Niptura, just having so much control on the entirety of this lobby. And again, what did we say the last game? This is why you hold on to your utility. Those nades made that transition from high ground to low ground so much smoother for D+. And even then, it wasn't easy to execute as Chips. He's popping off, and he's back to be an MVP of the game for sure.
Yeah, and really, really nice stuff coming in from them. The control, what we saw there. Even, you know, IC being able to push up earlier on in the game. I didn't hate the push. It was a good idea. It was pretty well executed, but that third party just helped DK to just overrun them and get rid of that threat. And after that, nobody really looked at them very much. So really love to see that coming in from them. Talk about utility, though, Max. I do want to just point out the smokes for Rejects looked really, really good, actually. They were having, they had an idea of what they wanted to do, and they were doing it as much as possible. I really liked the smokes coming out from them. It just gave them a little bit more space to work with and just really effectively blocked out DK sightlines.
Yeah, as Blank said, you know, there's another team now that became a Nimbus Cloud. It was not Doran, it was the entirety of Reject. I really enjoy that one. But now Reject, as you said, really good piece of utility, keeping them safe from the off angles of APG. And one good point spotted out by John during this game, actually APG going for a revive to then deny just takes the extra point out of the equation. It's a small thing, but again, when you're competing for top 3, that can really have such a big impact that could really have a devastating effect on the leaderboards.
I mean, we saw last year, right? Last year's KMGC was decided by just one, right? So, I mean, anything you could possibly do, you gotta put all the stops out right here. By the way, nice little setup there on the bridge from GS. That shut down Tianbo, and with that one, I think they are completely out of this match, man. But you know what? I finally figured out what Chips, kind of Chips is, Max, man. It's Ice Chips. That man's cold, dude. So cold towards the end. I kid you not. Ice water in his veins. When it comes down to like those super clutch moments, he shows that, you know what? I'm going to make it happen. Beautifully done there.
It really is just levels of rivalry, like Sanji and Zoro. They're just like, I'm MVP. I love that kind of storyline. Someone needs to make an edit on Instagram. That will pop off. I'm telling you that much, but it would be great. But
edit this.
One, the two. Oh my goodness. I mean, yeah, no, Valo, I feel you, bro. I would do the same thing if I were you.
Oh, you know what I love though? That's insane. This is insane. But you know what I love? It's like, listen, guys, Falcons, it wasn't you. It was just Doran, because he turns around and goes down goats the exact same way. Doran, man. What an MVP coming in here, Max.
I can just hear Novalu say, oh, bordel, right after that happened. Just the full French anger coming out. But another military island, hot drinks. Are we going to get a third one? Okay.
Bring it back. Let's go.
Hey,
one
do it
more
again.
time.
Oh, my. I can't even break down rotations here, but of course, teams that go on the bridge rotations early on are going to be given a significant advantage. G Plus here, though, taking it a bit slower, able to play the northern edge instead and pushing away Reject. The Reject, good plan from them, Niptura. Respectful. We don't want to take an early game fight and take an early casualty. That's really going to hinder our chances for a win. But everyone's fighting, and G Plus, big chilling. We got the high ground.
You know what? I got a
take it away.
question.
This is easy pickings.
Niptura, I got a question for you, right?
Yes.
When it comes to Reject, all right, would you want another military base finish? Right? And the reason why I asked that is because back-to-back militaries, they put up some decent points, right? But the problem is Loops put up 9 eliminations. You can see it right there. And that, I mean, yeah, I mean, look, the difference is 23 points. So even though they put up 14, they only move up 5. So if you Reject, do you even want to go to military again?
You know what? I actually wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it at all because I think it would be an interesting thing because we see D Plus get the back-to-back. We see Rejects get a back-to-back top 2, right? So I'm very interested to see if it does go there again, how they're going to play it. My only concern would be other teams now are going to be trying to do something different so they're not predictable, and that might put RC in a little bit of a disadvantage.
Just drop there at that point, you know. Just compete with APG, you know, for all the means, just send it. But no, looking at the leaderboards, I feel like we have to seal the fate of some teams here, Hot Jukes. Team Secret, 0 points. Tiamba, 0 points. For me, game over. For me, those teams, you're going home after this. I don't see a comeback. Not only mathematically speaking, but also in terms of their presence on the battlegrounds. It's just, we haven't seen anything. So for me, Team Secret, Tiamba, it's game over.
I agree. I agree 100%. And that's going to mix things up for sure, right? Because right now we're going to have 2 teams for sure that we know are not going to make it to that last chance stage. And guess what, Niptura? That means they got nothing to lose.
Yeah, that is so true, especially when you go, it's the final Erangel, we can just go all for it. It's the, and you know, game 6 as well, it's going to be the final game, we can just go all out. And, there's reason to do that, right? The top 3 looking pretty solid, maybe down to 6th place could really just try and snatch that 3rd place away from GOAT, but it's looking like the first 2 now kind of run away with it, Max.
I'm looking at the bottom of the leaderboards in particular. Reject 65 points. They started off the day with 38, man. They have their best day so far, a significant margin too, and they're just shy of pushing themselves finally out of the bottom 5 Hotchicks. But they need to keep going. They can't stop now. Reject, if we want to see one Japanese team in the finals, it can only be them.
Well, let's see if it's going to be, but get your popcorn ready. We're going to be right back after this break.
14 नहीं चाहिए था भाई एक को कॉल कर दिया अबे यार क्या कर सकते हैं भैया क्या करें आप बताओ कुछ टीआर के ऊपर ही उम्मीद रखना पड़ेगा टीआर ही ऑप्शन लास्ट ऑप्शन रखिए हेलो पूरा आ गया तू आया था ना चेक में अभी तो अभी गया क्या वही स्ट्रीमिंग कर रहे हैं वही वीडियो है हाँ 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 वो बनाने गए वो बनाऊंगा तो बना के देगा क्या देखो हाँ वही जो आज रात को बैठे बनाने वाले हाँ 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 वही वाले बाहर जाता नहीं माइक नया लाया है मैंने अभी कल से वो माइक यूज करो चलिए हाँ किसी हमें अभी कल से फाइट स्टार्ट करो फोन उसी में गेमिंग हो जाए कॉमेडी खेल रहे हैं कॉमेडी खेल रहे हैं अच्छा कॉम्पिटिटिव नहीं है चलेगा कल बोलूँगा हाँ निखिल भैया एक अनाउंसमेंट है निखिल भैया चैट में हो क्या निखिल भैया चैट में हो तो फटाफट एक बार बोलो चैट में हो क्या निखिल भैया जल्दी निखिल भैया बोलो चैट में हो 3 मिनट है अभी मेरे को लग रहा है यार 3 मिनट का टाइम है बहुत टाइम बहुत दे रहे तो मेरे को और करना आराम से 2 मिनट बाकी है 2 मिनट बाकी है व्हाट्स अप गैंग ऑल गुड आर्यन भाई ऑल गुड बहुत बढ़िया चल रहा है बहुत बढ़िया चल रहा है आप बताओ कैसा चल रहा है एकदम जिंदगी सब चल रही है अच्छे से अभी 2 मिनट बाकी है भाई मैच को 20 सेकंड डिले रहती है 20 सेकंड की डिले रहती है चलो मैच स्टार्ट होने वाला है गाइस सब लोग पे अटेंशन अच्छा अब इंटरव्यू है थोड़ा चलो देखते क्या होता है दोनों के ट्रांसलेटर
Getting closer to find out which 3 teams will be going to the finals from Group Green, in which 5 teams will be eliminated, and which 8 teams are going to go to last chance. I'm joined by none other than Snape from Alter Ego. Alter Ego currently not having the best performing day in comparison to what we've seen in the past 2 days. For this squad, what is the plan for the remaining 3 matches to make sure that you can actually get up there in the top 3?
Okay, Snip, kalau kita lihat performa AE sekarang tidaklah begitu yang seperti kita lihat dari hari-hari kemarin. Ya, apa rencana AE dan juga Snip buat sisa 3 game lagi nih?
Paling dari kita karena 3 game baik. Game 3 selanjutnya mungkin kita harus dari individu ya. Jadi kayak dari kepercayaan diri sama semangat tuh harus yang kayak kayak biasa aja lah. Yang kayak kita tetap harus percaya diri sih. Itu paling dari sisa 3 matchnya. Kalau dari segi makro nggak begitu banyak berubah lah kalau dari kita.
Yeah, I mean, we not really perform on the first 3 match. I think for the last remaining 3 match, it's the game of like mentality. I think for each individual, they still need to like prepare their mentality. They need to be that confident. It's because right now it's not about macro, it's not about micro, it's about the mentality itself. So we're looking forward for the next 3 game.
Okay, well, I'm hoping that that mentality is going to shine through. I'm pretty sure all of Indonesia is going to be hoping for that. Thank you so much, Tarima Kasi. And I have none other than Rafinha here from Loops Esports. It feels like history is currently repeating itself. Last year at PMGC, you were able to qualify to last chance via 11th place. Right now, you are in 11th place as well. How will you be approaching the last 3 games to make sure you can make it to last chance?
Então, ano passado, no PMGC, vocês acabaram classificando para o Last Chance em 11º lugar de novo. E agora vocês estão no mesmo lugar. Então, como é que vocês vão fazer esse approach para o próximo jogo, para os 3 últimos jogos finais?
A gente está aplicando hoje aquilo que foi planejado nos 2 primeiros dias. E a gente vai tentar manter essa pegada. Começamos muito bem as 3 primeiras partidas. Então é manter e o top 3 ainda é uma realidade. Então continuar mirando sempre no topo. E é isso, atingiremos.
So we would continue to apply all the knowledge that we have in the game, and we were planning for the two days. But we are really happy. We started with like 3 very good matches, and we are happy. We are aiming for the top 3, and yes.
Hopefully that's going to be the case, because good thing you had those 3 matches. You have had a resurgence from Reject. You see OG as well, currently playing with nothing to lose. Those teams are 18 and 19 points away from you. In the last 3 games, do you think that Reject or OG can catch you?
Então, a OG e a Reject estão bem próximos de vocês, né? Estão ali entre os 19 e 18 pontos. Você acha que eles conseguem pegar vocês?
Never.
Ooh, no need for translation on that one. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The final 3 games of Group Green are coming to you.
Never bola bhi. Never bola bhi.
Never. That's what I like to hear right there. That is how you do it. I'll tell you what. Man, we gotta show love to the Infinix GT 30 series, the official gaming mode of PMGC 2025. Engineered for precision, performance, and victory, empowering every gamer to be the one and outplay the rest on the global stage. I'll tell you what, Loops need to apply all that knowledge and then some if they want to make it into the top 3, because mathematically It's still possible, right?
Position
Like, what we have
11
today,
और इसको
but it's
top
going to
3 coach
require
लेंगे
a massive, massive game here and now because these teams in the mid.
भाई तुम्हारा नेट गया मेरा नेट नहीं
So
too much queue too much queue
I'm still waiting for his moment.
There
It
queue
was
साले
for a time,
मेरे को
right?
बोले
The
भाई
new
जो भी चैट
generation
में
of toxic
एक बार मेरे
players
को
from
चैट में
Americas,
बताओ ना
and
जो भी
unfortunately ever since the end of last year, we haven't really seen that kind of
chat में
rise to
मेरे को
fame
लिखो ना
and glory from Ratoboy. But I believe, Loops, you know what? There's still time. There's still 3 matches. There's still an opportunity for them to make that ascent.
Yeah, let's see if they can make that ascent coming up soon. But you know what?
Yep. पैसा
We heard
पैसा
close.
आप
For
कैसे हो आप कैसे
sure.
हो
I think that we're going to see these next matches heat
Ah,
up like crazy because every single one of these teams, they don't want to go to last chance, right? They want to make it into those finals. So, how much percentage do you think we're going to see like the gameplay level up in these last 3 matches? What do you think?
I think 50%.
Cool.
I think
That's a big
50%.
increase.
It is a big increase because I
एक
think
मिनट में
these
तीन
teams
निकालो एक सेकंड
those finals. So, one of these teams, they don't want to go to last chance, right? They want to make it into those finals. So, how much percentage do you think we're going to see?
एक मिनट में तीन आरसी का
back
पूरा
just a
लाइनअप
little
खत्म
bit, but I think just the intensity from everybody is going to make this a really interesting last few games, especially if we look at the 4th to 6th place, or even 4th to 8th, really, actually, because IZANA are at 104, and 8th place is Falcons 96. That's less than 10 points away from a 4th place position for Falcons. So all of those teams in between there definitely going to be bringing in the heat this next game.
If I can bring up a negative
Technically
point
top
here,
level
it's
पे यार है ना भाई
Rodrigo. I'm sorry, they had such a banger performance yesterday.
ये तो इंडिया की 2
There's
टीम आ
nothing to
जाएगी
show
ना
for it.
टीआर भी आ रही है
This team just kind of disappeared. They had
Oh,
some
उधर से
decent
भी आएगी।
points and stuff, but when it comes to fights,
उसी भी आएगी
look at
भाई
this
उसी
Greek
में
player.
पहले
I'm
गॉन्टलेट
sorry
में
to say,
अच्छा
they're
था
just getting completely squashed
उधर ही
literally
qualify
by
करना
the
था मुझे
competition.
टॉप 7 आ जाता
There's
बस
still time to make up for that maybe rough start of the day, unlike Dorian, who clearly has redeemed everything here for his squad.
Top 7 आ रहा था बस
Rodrigo here,
बस top
Hodges,
7
this is the team that I need to see something from this next game, because otherwise, with how performant and consistent the top teams like APG and D+ currently are today, it's going to be tough to make that comeback.
For sure. I'm going to say it right here and now. I think we got 1 slot left available, and I think that's the 3rd place position with GOAT. Yeah, I mean, D+ have 139. They're playing so well. Alpha Gaming, they're putting up points regardless of the situation.
पहला
I just
दो
think it's too
पोजीशन
tough
तो
to catch up
खत्म
with
मत होनी
how
भाई वो लोग
chaotic
होने
these
वाले
last 3
हैं
matches are going to be. That's in my
थर्ड
opinion.
पोजीशन के लिए फाइट है
Man, we just see
Clear
the
fight,
level
third
up
position.
right towards these last game, and we just saw Doran
मेरे हिसाब से
7
तो है कि
eliminations all
third
by
position
himself.
के
I'm gonna tell
लिए fight
you,
है
if the Wolves somehow pull
उसी
it
भाई
out
ये
here
मैच
and
करना
steal
है
that
कुछ
3rd spot
भी
away from
करना है
goal,
भाई ये
it's gonna be
मैच
100% due to that one particular
मैच
play.
उसी करके
I mean, that's a huge difference maker right here,
अच्छा
man.
पॉइंट का चिकन है
Could be. I'm actually, you know what? I want to talk about Dorian real quick. The fact that we've had so many top-tier players from Romania in the past, like, I'm sure some people are going to remember Eastern Stars. I'm sure that's going to be a callback for some people. And you had Octavian, you had Kapahala, all those guys. And now the one player from that region, Niptura, from Romania, that still stands strong and is able to perform globally from Romania is Dorian. You would have told me like years ago, I would have said there's no way, but no, he is the guy who stood up and is still here to this day.
Gosh, that's just a blast from the past. You took me back 2-3 years there with some of those names, Max. But yeah, Doran, it's so nice to see a player stand out even back then, continuing to do his thing. He's still on top. He's still got it. It's really, really nice to see, especially at this level, right? PMGC, and you're able to get 7 eliminations on your own. 1v7 in PMGC is insane.
By the way, you're talking about Romania, Texas, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Right?
Definitely.
Yeah, no, exactly.
We
For
claim
the
him now,
NA
baby.
team.
He's on the Wolves. He's rocking that USA flag. That's 100% American.
आया नेट आया वापस नेट आया
I love to see that. I love to see those plays, and you know, it's these crazy moments, these clutch moments that will just revitalize a squad. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, when you get in these high pressure situations, sometimes you need someone to make it happen. Hey, for D+, it's Chips. Right? Because anytime the going gets tough, you got to hit those hard peaks, that clutch shot. He's doing it for the squad. So, I mean, the fact that D+ has Chips and Nobu going crazy too, man, I mean, it's they're looking full steam ahead to make it to the finals.
Come on. A bit of time. A little bit of time. I'm trying to think right now. Who would be the group green MVP? Like, you got so many contenders. Of course, Chips.
That's a good question.
You got Top for APG. Goad had some step-up players. Rosemary had some great games yesterday. Like, who would be the one to claim that one? I think it's really close. Way closer than what we had during Gauntlet, right? It showed that we kind of had a good inkling of who it would be. But right now, I'm not sure.
I think it's gonna be Chips, to be honest, and the reason I say that is because he was daily MVP yesterday. Was he? Yes. Yes, he was. And then today, we've also had a game from him where he was also MVP of that game, whereas Top has not. So Top was MVP day one, but the performance overall from Top has not been as standout as Chips continues to do. And so I think it is probably gonna Chips be just inching that one over the rest of the lobby.
That's a good pick. Who do you think, Podrux?
I think that's pretty close. I think it's pretty close right there. I think Alpha is not done yet because I think we saw them do that split in Rondo. That made me hype because I was like, you know what? Yeah, if you're going to mix things up, you really only need one good game if you're Alpha Gaming to lock yourself in, right? The fact that they did that split and they sent Top, like one of their top fraggers out there to try to get some eliminations, I thought was a brilliant play. I think that if they get a normal set, there's no pressure at all on this squad as opposed to everybody else pretty much for the most part, Max.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I just cheated a little bit. I just looked. It's currently in order, top 5 MVPs for day 1, day 2, not day 3, but it was Top, Nolbu, Rosemary, Falloc, and then Chips. So Chips actually way lower than I expected, Nipcho. That's kind of a surprise. Wow.
I'm so surprised by that, but I suppose MVP for the team maybe isn't MVP for the lobby, right? He's doing things for the team, but maybe the other guys are just out eclipsing him just that little bit more.
Well, man, now is the time, folks. You gotta put up some points right here, right now. It's the grassy lands of Airgale for the final time today. John, Blank, who's gonna win this one? Tell me. I want to know.
Well, I don't know about you, but I feel like Doran's going to win this one. I don't know who he's playing for or whatever. That seems to be the case. World on his wow. What a monumental achievement in that last game. But all jokes aside, it's definitely Team Secret winning.
You think Team Secret's getting a win?
Every time, it's Team Secret. No doubt in my mind.
Maybe another Sosnovka circle, potentially. That could be certainly interesting. I think the players probably hate it, though. But yeah, we are getting another game. Probably back to normality, maybe, I hope. In terms of the circle, 2 games in a row that favored over towards Reject, and their immediate rotate across towards Sosnovka was very much needed for them to try and get themselves out from the bottom 5. I think that they are very lucky that they got the double Sosnovka, but they also played it fairly well to get towards 2 endgame finishes. Not quite the chicken dinner, though. Definitely a possibility on that last match, but not quite able to pull it off. The squad's out nice and early, though. The circle is far east. So no worries on that Sosnovka finish this time around. Alter Ego get to head up towards that north side around Lipovka Mansion split, so they should have a decent start in this game.
Yeah, that east side will be the focus now, as they send it on in. Nicely dropping down here. No roadblocks around those bridges. Now, we were looking a lot at the Falcons over that last match, right? And Dawn was looking at them too. But the thing that they really adjusted in those last 2 matches was the speed to which they rotated in the start of the match, right? Away from Pachinki. They have to rotate again this match. The question is, will it be as fast without the pressure of a military circle?
To be honest with you, I don't think so. I don't think so. Unless something has drastically changed within the calling structure of the team, I don't think it's going to be a fast rotate from them. I think that the odd thing for the Falcons is how are they going to bounce back after that last game? Getting 1v4'd is never a good feeling, even in your games at home. It feels even worse on a global stage. So I do think for the Falcons, they might be reeling from that. And again, it's unfortunate because I think the other games of the day were pretty good, honestly, and fairly successful. And even that rotate there was not the incorrect decision. And I'm hoping it doesn't set up a mental block for them going forward, because it certainly could do. I think for the Wolves, that game might have cleared those heads, though, right? That's the big thing. You could be happy with how Doran performed there and hope to do him proud in this game.
I mean, the difficulty, though, for all of those teams is that third place is still moving, and GOAT on 112 has a little bit of a lead. We were saying it before, right, that APG and DK at this point, if they're able to get 10 more points in today's matches, they've got 3 matches to do just that. They're locked in. They're pretty much locked in already. It is a question of who's going to join them. And all the way down to the Falcons have a really solid chance of getting there, right? With a good game, they're on top of that pack. From 112 down to 96, I mean, you know, it's not easy, but a 16-point gap can be made up fairly quickly if you're able to get into those late games.
GOAT's hold is tenuous, to say the least, over in third place. D+ being 10 points behind Alpha Gaming is certainly not something I would have predicted after the end of day 1, but yeah, here we are, which is very cool to see, honestly, the reigning champions having some of those life signs come back into effect. As D+ do rotate straight away from Rozhok. They get a nice east side start here for them. Towards the center of the circle as well, they should be able to get towards. But you're right, there is a lot of teams towards the middle of the pack, pretty much from 8th upwards, that can challenge. At any moment, there is this case at any moment, GOAT could change that. Because if GOAT get a 20-point game in any of our next 3 matches, it does become very hard to catch up to them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's still just out of reach to really say who our top 3 are looking likely to be. We know who 2 of them are very likely to be, but yeah, absolutely. And then down towards 11th place as well, there is a bit of danger there. It's in general less likely that they'll find those big 20-pointers.
Come on, OG, come on, bhai.
From probably, I mean, it would be difficult for OG and Reject to make it, but it's still just sort of on the doorstep. But certainly GS have a chance. Loops, Gen G, and 97G, they're sort of in this state of flux right now, with GS definitely behind that pack, but whose spot would they take with a big game? That remains to be seen.
Let's take a look at the center of the circle at the moment. 9Z coming in from Yasnaya. They do have an outpost down towards the south side, scouting. D+ also moving their way in. Reject so far have done a fairly good job to start moving up towards the top side of the middle populace, at least not the top side at all.
लेकिन ये हो सकता है आज के टाइम का मेरे को लग रहा है फाइट हो सकता है जो टीआई का फाइट हो सकता है
18 points behind though.
भाई लेकिन आरसी ना अपनी चाहिए भाई अपने को एडवांटेज होगा ना आरसी मारेगी तो अपने को एडवांटेज है
to not have a great game
क्लियर एडवांटेज है
so for Reject they just have to keep pushing all day. For GS it's a little bit of an easier story from 71 up to 83 and we've seen GS make some fairly decent maneuvers. It's still feeling hit or miss with that squad. For OG, only 1 point behind Reject. I think OG is the cutoff of teams that are able to get in towards last chance here, being at 64 points. But again, that is another strong set of 3 games for that squad.
It is very difficult. Again, we were thinking about that bubble towards the lower end being somewhere around the 90s, maybe low 90s, could be pushing up a little bit, especially given where we sit right now. It is very, very difficult to imagine that Tiamba are going to be able to get 40 points in 3 matches. And for Team Secret, 70 points, it's impossible. Even though they're going to win the next 3 matches back to back. It's just not happening. Imagine, you get 3 20-point games back to back and you still don't even qualify for last chance.
दोनों rotation में दोनों rotation
You'd be on
exactly.
81. Yeah, so
Rosemary लिया
it's definitely rough.
पलक को
I
मारा
think Team Secret is the only
पलक को पूरा clear कर दिया Falcon ने
here.
भाई रोजमेरी तो बिल्ला है रोजमेरी ना कसम से इतना क्लास प्लेयर है ना मैं कसम बोला पर रोजमेरी इतना बिल्ला प्लेयर है ना अभी देखना देखा डैमेज भले मारा नहीं डैमेज देखो उसका अरे गन कंट्रोल इतना क्लास है ना उनका बहुत अच्छा है गोली रोजमेरी सॉरी रोजमेरी बहुत सही है भाई क्लियर सच बोल रहा हूं.
They were up in 3rd. They've been up in 2nd as well. They've been dancing around that top bubble.
Team अटकी गई नहीं मेरे को लगा team अटक गई sorry
A team 1
so sorry guys जो भी नया है स्क्रीन पे लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब मारे फटाफट लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब मारे
Takes all the prize money and the all-important ticket to the finals. Goats moving in.
Behind
them, the circle goes back.
Mid of the center ले लिया उन्होंने mid of the center mid of the center लिया भाई चारों तरफ से टीम है यार चारों तरफ से टीम है यार
is also the last chance
चारों तरफ से टीम है ये टीयर और यही का फाइट चल रहा है हो सकता है इंटेंस फाइट हो सकता है इंटेंस फाइट हो सकता है
I think if you head over towards Miramar,
इंटेंस
as we've
फाइट हो
seen
सकता है भाई
multiple times, some of the circles are so hectic. The big thing about Miramar is not the fact that it can't be played well, but you get towards the end games where the
Genji versus RC भी हो सकता है
at most.
हो ही रहा है मोस्टली दोनों एक कंपाउंड लेके बैठे
so
एक ही शेल्डर का लिस्ट लेके बैठे
Erangel, where you get to stage 6, stage 7, you can have like
लेकिन Genji का भी बैकअप आ गया दोनों प्लेयर आ गए
in those circles, which gives
RC के 2 प्लेयर हैं और उनके पीछे आईसी है
finish there.
टीम है
Might just be cut out.
Genji वाला सैंडविच बन सकते क्लियर सैंडविच बन सकते
in Miramar, whether you can make it or not.
क्लियर
You
सैंडविच
need
बन
to make
सकते
sure now on this last Erangel
मेरे को चाहिए ये मैच में मुझे
secure that position and make it a little bit easier for yourself, basically giving yourself a buffer going into
खराब किया यार मेरा
That's
खराब हो
most
गया
important for the GOAT right now, because they already have a small lead. They can extend that out further. Their life becomes so much easier on Miramar because they can just play it slow.
एक सेकंड देख रहा हूं जीएस के भी आईसी का एक प्लेयर गया ना
Potential to be a little bit more
भाई
relaxed.
कौन है चैट में कौन है
So
एक
you
बार
do
बताओ
not want that pressure of
जो भी
knowing
देख रहा है
you
स्क्रीन में
need to
एक बार
get
चैट
like a
में
17 elim game
जो करो
here
विस्पर्ड आरू
to do something on these tables,
लोग
etc.
जो आजू बाजू भी 9 जेड है
It's really nerve-wracking.
Mindset है
You do not want that on your conscience.
मत विस्पर्ड से जाओ मत इनको ले रहा है इनको लेके वापस आ
Linear down the center of this
इनको लेके वापस आ
blank, that Yaz field presence being really felt on that west side. Everyone wants
इनको
access to
लेके
the
वापस
merchant
आओ
field
ना
if
फिर
it
और
goes
कुछ नहीं चाहिए
northeast. It does start to splay out
इनको
down
ले
towards
आरू को बता
Milter.
आरू कॉल देगा तब
Yard on the south.
विदाउट आरू के साथ मत करो प्लीज बोलो भाई प्लीज
Very much along the road south of
प्लीज
the
बोलो भाई विदाउट आरू मत
In secret, do you find loops? That's a big deal.
मार ए जरा स्मार्ट ना वो लूप्स को रफीना को यार
Lucky to get away with his life there.
मारो
Surprised he
खत्म करो
couldn't find the final shot, but
खत्म
they will look to see if they can finish off some more.
खत्म कर
You have
खत्म
to
करो
hit that. Finally.
मार जा रही है एक प्लेयर बचा है
2 of his teammates sending over his head.
एक
Lovely
प्लेयर
bit of
बचा
stunt
है
driving
यार
there
एक
coming
प्लेयर
through from
बचा
Team
है
Secret.
और रेड बॉय एक प्लेयर
Even if
बचा
they
है
can't make the
दो
points
प्लेयर बचे
work.
हैं
They'll try and
खत्म करो वाली लूप्स को खत्म करो
And they do manage to get,
never
a
bola
decent
na,
chunk
never bola
out of loops.
Muji ke liye never
Bring
bola,
pick up another point at
saala.
least.
मुझे के लिए
So
नेवर
well
बोला
done
भाई
them. Congratulations.
दो प्लेयर भाई बोलना मत
The
नेवर
thing is that getting 2 players out from 11th place, the
तो
11th
अभी
place
ये
team,
भाई
is
अच्छा अच्छा
actually
स्पीड
a
लेके
massive
बैठी
deal
है
here
ओजी
for Reject as
ओजी
well as
अच्छा स्पीड लेके बैठी है यहाँ पे
OG. Stops loose
ये
from
OG
progressing
अच्छा
too
स्पीड
much
लेके
and
बैठी है
gives yet
अपने
again
पास चलो
another chance for both those teams
चलो
to put up some
प्ले
strong points here.
अपन अभी
And
सेंटर
with
पे
OG being able to play up towards the north side, playing
जोन
heavy,
सेंटर पे
this is
और
a
सेकंड अगला जोन भी
really
अपने
strong
पे
chance for them.
ये लोग
to get
सागा
a good
पे
game.
अगला जोन भी अपने पे आ रहा है पूरी टीम जिंदा है भाई बस मत मारना बस
They need to
जोन
regroup
अपने पे
properly though. If they don't,
अगला जोन भी अपने पे आ रहा है 40 सेकंड को भाई अगला जोन भी आ रहा है मारो
the Falcons out
फिर
to
उसके
their
बाद मारना
west.
शुरू करो
Wolves on the
10
northwest
किल
of this
10
still D
पॉइंट
plus
20 पॉइंट
ahead
आया
of
तुम
them.
डायरेक्ट टॉप
Do
लेवल
have a challenge here.
दो मैच बचेगा
They don't really have too many options, and Genji
दो मैच
already
बचेगा उसमें
finding their
हर
way
मैच में
in.
10-10 पॉइंट आएगा
The
सीधा अपन
building
टॉप
that
लेवल में
Killer Joe was
सर्वाइविंग
trying to
स्टेज के लिए
scout out.
जाएंगे उधर पे जाके अपन धूम मचाएंगे
I mean,
यहाँ पे
yeah,
अपने को
it's
टॉप
not
लेवल
fair,
आना है अभी
really.
कैसे भी
It's too close to the edge of the circle. Want to get a little bit further. The 2 from
यही
Loops.
वर्सेस जीएस यही वर्सेस
Everybody's
जीएस
sending now.
वहाँ पे लूप्स के भी दो प्लेयर हैं
You've got to do.
Loops के भी दो player है वहाँ पे,
This is
guys.
area the map to be playing in.
Loops के भी दो
So
player हैं.
imagine
GS
playing
का
on really wants to
rotation
go for
चालू.
that just yet. They're
यही-
waiting for the
यही
circle
Victor and
to
Rosemary.
make a
यही वैसे
true
shoot भी हो सकता
decision
है ना,
on where it's
हाँ, ये भी
finishing.
shoot भी हो सकता है.
D
दोनों
Plus
सामने
just
वो
sends
compound-
center. They're
वो
quite happy with
compound
that
लेके बैठे
one
हैं, ये
to
लोग
play
यहाँ
that
पे,
position. Again,
mountain
Alpha
पे.
Gaming
अपना
down
ये
towards the
वाला-
southeast side, playing it
क्या बोलते हैं? हाँ,
more
prison वाला.
towards the edge here.
Prison वाला mountain पे
Swift
बैठे हैं.
teams, but it's a team that
ये
has
open
the
है.
capability to
prison
do
वाला
that
mountain ये लोग
massively.
full open है. वहाँ पे APG भी open. Drop looted.
I'm getting fully stuck into a fight just yet. But I mean, it is APG.
भाई एक बार मैप
regardless,
दिखा
it's
देना यार, जो भी
decide.
है, जो भी एक बार मैप दिखा. मैप
Sweep
दिखा.
through,
मैप
maybe.
दिखा.
Papa's super massive there as well. Probably the first team to face.
भाई
Ultra
मैप दिखा दे, मैप
potentially
दिखा दे यार.
around
मैप
this
दिखा दे.
prison mound. Tianba. Hey, they still got 4 players alive.
मैप दिखा दे
You know,
यार.
they're fine. They're doing okay. They can still do it, I believe.
APG का split देखते हो क्या? APG का
Don't know
एक
if I
plate
believe
इधर, एक
myself
plate
on that
उधर,
one.
एक plate उधर.
You
Clear, clear,
are
ऐसा चल रहा है
quite
ये लोग.
optimistic
I'm being-
today, honestly.
चारों जन मार
Yeah,
मार सूप
let's go with that.
अरे नहीं यार
Let's go with
अपना
that. Luke's
अरे
trying to move
यार
on through.
सूप मर गया
Let's
रे
go.
सूप का प्लेयर मर गया यार
Yeah, one
मारने का
point.
था सूप
These
यार
2 players is good. Definitely good, but Papa
एक
Super
kill
Massive losing
एक
a
player
player
एक elimination point मिल
there.
गया
Two-man team is pretty rough.
एक
Playing
elimination
alongside
point
this
बंदा मिल
ditch,
गया यार
sits around the dead trees. It's a
मार मार मार
okay
मार
position, put it that way. Requires smokes though to keep teams off your back. Also easily crashable. Your outpost as well is also
Super
gone
lost.
due to loops, which does make it
PTP
a
आ
bit
गई है.
more awkward.
चारों मैन स्टैंडिंग 4 मैन स्टैंडिंग है
Waiting
IC
for
3 मैन
stage
स्टैंडिंग
4
सूप
now
3 मैन
to
स्टैंडिंग
pop.
लूप्स 2 मैन स्टैंडिंग बाकी सब ऑल 4
Wolves
मैन
on the
स्टैंडिंग ऑल
northwest,
4 मैन स्टैंडिंग
102 points after
भाई
that.
नेटो की बरसात चालू हो गई है
From
पीछे की
Doran
तरफ
to
से
Sitman there.
लेकिन नहीं ये लोग फाइट अवॉइड कर रहे हैं फाइट अवॉइड कर रहे हैं ये लोग पॉइंट अवॉइड कर रहे हैं पॉइंट अवॉइड कर रहे हैं भाई
I'm surprised that the teams have managed to compact themselves into
अवॉइड
this
कर रहे हैं
area.
भाई फाइट अवॉइड
The
कर
bruiser
रहे हैं
isn't quite fully upon APG. And
भाई
maybe that's
मिलो
gonna be
क्या
the
मारा
go
वो
time. But APG can't find the shots, and it's actually Tiamba to
गया
the first on that engagement. And Naze over the top is
Zero
huge.
to
Gets
zero
the
to
first,
zero
and
to
another
zero.
knock to APG. The
Class
circle sends
day.
all the way down to the southwest. So
Class
LG gonna have
day.
to
APG
move.
के दो
Can't
player
play
down.
the Heaven combat anymore. This is big news
मुझे
for
क्या?
IC and for GOAT
अरे
and
यार
for
उनको वो
Falcons
गंदा
and
शूट ले
maybe
लिया
even for Reject.
मुझे को प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा दो गंदा शूट लिया है
Pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, Reject being able to
बहुत
move from that
गंदा
south
शूट
side
लिया
is
है उनको
massive.
प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा भाई
Also, big chance here now for D Plus to
APG versus zero
get ahead, right?
APG
Get
दो player
first
थे.
place. First place over in PMGC 2024.
Dो
Now
player
looking
थे,
to top the
APG.
tables here in Group Green.
अपने को
Be a
दो
great
चीज को
marker
जनता
for
पड़ेगा बे
what's
पूरा
to come
सदन साइड
from
है
this
सदन
South
ईस्ट
Korean
साइड है
squad. But yeah, you're right. For Gen G,
चल आरू कुछ
in
तो
a
कर अच्छा
circle,
रोटेशन दे आरू
Reject
कुछ
is
अच्छा
all
रोटेशन दे
very promising.
अभी तक एक भी
On this next
टीम
circle.
एलिमिनेट नहीं हुई है एक भी टीम एलिमिनेट ए रोजमेरी को डाउन किया
It's kind of nastiest, I think, for
मिलो ने
maybe
क्रिप्टन को डाउन
GS
किया
in this scenario.
Snake को भी डाउन किया
Well, I mean, they're trying to get away from this hilltop, but
रोजमेरी फिनिश बाय नेट
actually sent up towards this fight.
एपीजी अच्छा डॉग में साथ
And they're losing all of their
इसने
players
क्रिप्टन
now,
को अच्छा
over
फिनिश
towards
ए
just
लुक्स का बना
Alpha now
लुक्स का
remaining.
बना एक और बंदा
That's not
लुक्स का
fair.
बना एक और बना
Yeah,
लुक्स
remember
का
I
वो
said, like,
रफीनिया
why is
डल्ला
Tiamba suddenly insane
रफीनिया को
at the
मारते
game?
हैं रफीनिया
Like,
मरते हैं ना भाई
not why are they, why are they bad, because this is crazy. They've just taken down a lot of the tough parts of the lobby here pretty succinctly, leaving Alter Ego, who were challenging for a third place position. Now we just won. And Alva, I don't think he survives here. He does not.
वही खत्म पहली टीम वही खत्म
No.
भाई
They've lost in fifth place
रोजमेरी की टीम
at
खत्म
the end of this
Zero
match, 2
elimination
Miramax
points.
left to play. I mean, they're just going to hope that GOAT and IC
Hashtag
well,
16,
I mean, and actually half the lobby. It would be great for
Hashtag
Alter Ego if
16
you
पे
could
खत्म
just
हुए थे।
stop playing right now.
हैशटैग 16
I mean,
Oh, thank you,
I think
Dave.
there has been so a
Three
little
months clip पे खेल लेगा,
lackluster
तो
performance from
clip पे
Alter
खेल
Ego
लेगा।
today, but fair
जी,
enough
3
as
months
well,
clip पे खेल
where
लेगा।
you look at those circles,
Okay,
it's been
आतंकी,
really
आतंकी,
rough
भाई,
finding it to play a
आतंकी।
decent one, and it's
भाई,
very
आतंकी,
open,
भाई,
it's a hard road to take
भाई,
from
आएंगे,
two, they get
आएंगे।
caught off towards prison with two
आएंगे,
teams
मार
playing
उनको
around
भी।
that location. Two teams,
तो आएंगे,
which I
भी
might
मार।
add, have basically nothing to lose here as well.
आएंगे
with
मार,
Team Secret
आएंगे
and
तो मार, अब भी मत दे।
Tiamba extremely
पापा
aggressive.
सिर्फ मैच फेंक रहे हैं उनकी तरफ अपने को पूरा मैच लेके जाने का नहीं पूरा मैच लेने का नहीं
There's A real firecracker about to pop off, I'm sure, there, but GS crashing. Two teams chasing for that 11th place bubble. GS moving down towards Sarah, but he has got that outpost to reposition away back towards the rest of his team. Will they be able to do so safely, securely? Regi, though, not so lucky. Pounced on the off angle and immediately flushed away as well. That's a point added to the tally for GS with loops going low, down to one player. They definitely want to make this game a big one. See how far they can go.
That's an old boot striking from the northern side. But Tiamba's not done yet. The nades, pins pulled, and Team Secret looking to hit the deck here as the explosions come through very quickly. Good damage will find one. Zerus should go down to the splash damage there, and does. Tiamba decided that they can play finally.
Yeah, they've been allowed to open their eyes on this one. A nice pick up there. Wolves trying to make the dash now across the open ground. OG trying to stop. They have got a beautiful wide He doesn't quite connect for another knock, but slows the Wolves down a lot more. They've got 20 seconds to get back up and into 44. With the tanky getting rest as well, OG are on 4. They have to move too. The question is, where do they go right now, Blank? It's open area to the north of Shelter, to the north and the west of Mansion.
The Wolves who need to make their way up, but like you say, they are surrounded on both sides here. Falcons looking for a little bit of redemption from that last match too, as takes this opportunity just to swing through. They see the smokes now and over towards 9. See, and swing straight back around again. I think for Wolves this is an extremely difficult.
Massive as well. They take a knock. Oh, that's all the way out the back actually. So Bond might actually be full capture. Wolves crashing across the road. Make their life hard, and that is going to continue. Wolves are getting pulled apart, crashing into OG. It's not friendly. I think it's just Bat now remaining. Meanwhile, in the picture-in-picture, the south side is getting real hot between Reject and GS. Those two teams looking to chase for that 11th place bubble. I don't quite know who's going to feel like GS might have this one. Reject taking heavy casualties.
Apollo
and team finishes
done and dusted. 65 points now for Reject. GS do profit off the back of that. 4 relims on that game. Wolves down as well. Eagles will go out. It's just battle left.
He's got 8 net. He's got 8 net. He's got 8 net. 8 net. He's got 8 net. मारे. He's got 8 net. मारते. 8 net मारते. He's got 8 net पे. तेरे 1 net में game है.
It's a difficult crossing. I just
have
11 eliminations blank.
Yeah,
we're in
minute,
minute 20, right? Like this.
I don't know.
It's very confusing. I don't think they're going to get too much further here. They're out in the open, but they do have a position in this next circle. We'll see if they can maintain it for a little bit longer. OG also heavily suffering. But one they set back their way could be beautiful. Falcons have some time in the meantime as well. On the other side of it, the other flank against OG.
तीनों जिंदा है ना अपने तीनों जिंदा मार एक ओपी तेरे ऊपर है एक ओपी
there from the Falcons. It was instantly healed back up again. Redox does get
knocked out. Clutch
try and pick him up. Good shot there. Coming through from OG will take down Koa, and now we'll just Ralph remaining. This is what you want to see. Well done.
The next move again, they are trapped on this north side. Do they want to try and stay OG, or do they want to try and get closer? They're defending their third place against DC, who have a position in the circle. Nice little pick out there as 9Z. Try and roll on. Tanky has other ideas. Finally, a turn on the corner is there, but the rest of OG now need to pick up the slack. Can't do it, but the teammates are still rallying, and a Tanky stays alive. One player now pick them back up for 14 seconds. The zone moves. They might be able to roll out as 3.
मिल जाएगा रिवाइव मिल जाएगा
My favorite player on that
अपन
squad.
जोनिन भी कर लेंगे जोनिन करने का
He
जोनिन
is
करने का मेन
very
जोनिन
sick
करने
of
का
it. Some insane maneuvers from his side of things. I think he's been a thorn in the side for a fair few teams as well that maybe underestimated it. D plus though, they send across. There is shots from Gen G. I think D plus trying to finish off the fight between them and OG, but seeing their teammates getting blasted out by Gen G in the background, sees them run back towards the rest of the team. Tiamba still taking shots, but it's Gen G to do most of the work there over towards GS. For Gen G, this is a big deal for them. If they get a chicken dinner on this game, that does back up into the hundreds alongside a lot of other squads.
It is really their time to join that fight, it seems, but Go are still alive, Blank. On the western side, they do have to get on in a circle, maybe a little bit more happy because they are in the circle on this next rotate. D plus with one player left standing. As many places as they the open will be taken down, and the point goes to OG, who are now very close to GS, and they're behind Loops on 77. OG with the crash actually over towards Gen G's position, and one of them's knocked on the wall.
I mean, for OG, this looks a lot
अरे
more
नहीं यार एक ओपी नहीं यार
and I like it. I really do like it. A Tanky now on the side wall. WizGod has to move up in the vehicle. There is a nade sent out. It's a little bit too far, but a nice Molotov. Damn to be sat down on the side. It goes a little far again from Gen G, but GS assaulting from the sidelines too.
कर पाएंगे क्या ये लोग
Crashing into IC, that's the battle for third place popping off right now in the picture-in-picture. It's really, really dangerous stuff as Gen G look at a climb, but a nade from WizGod is able to land on target. Go and look at a keep this crash going. IC hopping out, but can't quite find the spray down. There's a chime in from Tianba, who is still alive, by the way. Oh my goodness me, there's three very important fights happening right now, Blank. All at once. On the south side, it's Coates who take down IC, 6 elims now. There's still that Lone Ranger running across the open ground. No, hang on a minute. He has got his teammates still going with A-King behind him.
Up towards the wall with 12 elims on the match, by the way. Gen G at 10, OG at 10. Teams are really pushing as far as they possibly can to try and get into last chance here. We are so close to the tables for third place. We are so close to the tables. Down towards Tiamba steps up, can't find the shots onto a Tanky.
Oh, he's dodging down there. Onto winner though, Blank, with Gen G starting to wane. This could be the time that they solidify that out of reach for almost everyone in the lobby. In a circle, could have been the last bastion here. OG lock in some placement points. You saw them just flick up into 12th place, but they are still short of 11th. Their game is over in 5th place here. 2 more maps to play. And an 8-point difference between them and Loops, who sit still on the bubble.
Oh, come on. That was... You shooting above him, dude. It's not that big of a drop-off. Finally gets the job done. Yeah, for Goat, you're absolutely right in terms of maybe they can finish here. The big thing is this. 14 elims from Tiamba is extremely silly.
Oh, dear.
And does see them with a chance.
I mean, it kind of does, right? On a 85-point bubble, Tiamba on 64 when you've added in these 14 elims. I mean, that's doable. They've already guaranteed a 4th place in the placements. They're definitely going to be less than 20 points. Fewer than 20. Going into our Miramar stage, the question is how much further can they go? Because they're in the blue zone, and they do need to push further forwards.
Yeah, the big thing now for Go is if this circle goes down towards southwest, then I think we might have just secured our top 3. It would be a big outside chance on both our Miramars for any other teams underneath them. But if it heads up towards the northeast side, then it might still all be to play for.
We go covering that run out. Satan has the inside of the building. Kind of on lock, so Tiamba not actually going to go for the push. They know they don't need to commit to going for it. It would be a placement and an elim if they could go in and find that last player for Gen G, but they can wait instead.
It does
Goat
all
के
come down to
तीन
the
के
shift
ऊपर।
here. And it's away from them.
भाई गोट के साथ
So
ट्रेजेडी हो गई बे।
now
लोग
Ghost
दो लोग
Life
धोनी
is a
निकल
little
गया।
difficult. Tiamba's gonna
धोनी निकल गया उन लोग को ट्रेजेडी हो
slight
गई।
resupply there.
Oh,
ट्रेजेडी हो गई।
felt dangerous
गोट
there.
के
I
साथ
thought
ट्रेजेडी
Kraken
अब
was gonna
जैसे
peek
निकलेंगे
out,
यहाँ
take
पे
shots,
चार प्ले
but
बैठे।
just covering it off.
बैठे क्यों है? मारने के लिए ना।
Very tense.
It's such open ground.
मारने
that
के लिए
Goat
बैठे
have to
भाई।
cross.
गोट को आ रहा है। गोट को बहुत कम चांसेस है।
But which of these players are going to take shots towards them?
Obvious.
I think if it was a
कौन लेगा इन लोग
three-man
के पास
squad
शॉट
playing
जल्दी?
here in Mansion, Go absolutely. Easy and
अब कर जोन इनके पास आ जाता
time
है
of
बाय
it.
चांस।
But because
तो इन लोगों
it's
का chance
three
आता है।
separate teams
अब भी
on the
मेरे
outside
को तो
towards
थोड़ा
the east, I think Go might
50-50
just
लग
be
रहा
able
है
to
इनका
get
चिकन
by
का चांस है।
because of the lack of coordination
तो भी अब ये लोग
from
पोजीशन तो
all
रिवर्स
three
किया
of
है।
these teams on the
देखते
other
हैं
side
अभी
who
बताओ।
don't really want to be
CS
the
का ये
first
प्लेयर
to
मालूम
peak.
है इन लोगों को। CS का ये प्लेयर
The
देखो।
fact that they've got 3 players though as well,
Smoke
is
मारा है।
really worrisome.
भाई सब गाड़ी कूदी है। उसके पास कवर अच्छा है।
They are the main team that
और
has
अच्छा
to,
होता है।
GS have to let their
अब
last
smoke
player
करेगा ये।
out. And remember, GS also chasing for that bubble.
स्मोक करेगा।
Currently on 78 points, and then you add on
निकला।
the placements. Blank, they're very
शॉट
close
तो
to
लेंगे।
already
अगर इन लोगों को
being
जस्ट पता
into
चल जाएगा
11th
हाँ यहीं
against
पे है,
Lutz.
ये लोग जेल
Another
देंगे
Elim,
इसको।
another
जेल
team
देंगे।
going down would be brilliant news for them. Smoke trains there.
नहीं
Go.
नहीं
Might
नहीं
try and
लगेगी
leverage that.
भाई नहीं लगेगी गोली ऐसी
They stretch
इतना।
out themselves.
वहाँ पे टीएन भी वेट
Tiamba.
करती है। जेन का इसलिए पूरा
How's it
कैंप
time to
करके बैठा है। लेटे बैठा है एकदम।
Layton's just been so quiet on the inside.
क्लियर लेटे बैठा है।
And he actually might let Go get up to the wall, in which case it may not
I did,
have
I
mattered
did.
the
Look
circle
at that,
pushing
I did.
away from either of these squads. But look how
लेट
open
हाँ
this
भाई
ground
हवे
is.
में पुड़ गया।
He's
लेडी
still
हवे
not
में
taking
पुड़
any
गया इन
shots
लोगों ने।
either just yet.
ये
He basically
बचा।
smokes for Goat too.
अरे वो रीच है ना रीच की वजह से बच रहा है वो रीच की वजह से बच रहा है
Dead center. It's going to start now.
Reach
And
की वजह
teams
से
have
बच
to
रहा है।
move. The smoke's lining up. Tianba have started to push out, but
भाई जीएस के एक प्लेयर ने नॉक किया।
trying to play with Goat. That is
अच्छा
huge.
अच्छा।
Finding that off angle, finding a knock against Goat. That brings it into a 2v2v1 now. The res needs to come through. Tiamba, stop this res from happening.
3v2v1,
At all costs. They
3v2v1
need to find
guys,
the smoke there.
3v2v1.
Covers off the other angle. Aching. Milo, where are you? You need these sprays. You need them now. Or Goat are going to be back up as 3, up into the wall. And Satan is still there.
Aya,
He's got
aya,
the
aya.
overground and Kraken. He's able to find it. Satan goes low. He's
Gen
been
का player
spotted
अभी भी
aching
निकलेगा। हाँ,
with the
Gen का
angle
player
on
अभी
towards him.
निकलेगा।
Looking to keep that spray going.
Good,
Tiamba
good.
looking to ladder up. They will get second, but they only have the one
Hey,
player to
class
stand. And the
ball,
nades from
class.
Goat over the top seal the deal, and they might have just guaranteed Goat's spot in the grand finals. What a close down on the game.
Class.
Tiamba making
What a
waves,
match.
but it is the top 3 looking
What a
all the more
match.
certain.
Yeah, it's such a messy finish there coming through from those 3 teams. Satan does nothing. Tiamba does
What a
nothing.
match. What a match.
That's coming across from the side, because honestly that's an international mindset where as those 3 teams there, you
What a
deal
match.
with the biggest
What a
target
match.
first in a lobby, and then you as the solos can fight against one another for the win, right? But that way everyone goes down at separate orders in low placings, and you limit yourself on elims too. I think it's a weird one. It's definitely a weird one.
Yeah, it's a really, really weird ending there, but Goat with the goods.
रिवर मेरे को लग रहा है ना शायद टॉप के ऊपर होगा। टॉप ऑफ द टेबल पहुंच गई मेरे को लग रहा है ये तो लग रहा है। टॉप ऑफ द टेबल मेरे को पहुंच गए ये मेरे को लग रहा है। मेरे को लग रहा है टॉप ऑफ द टेबल गोल वाले टॉप ऑफ द टेबल और
And when the going gets tough and everything is on the line, Goat pull out a chicken dinner. This could be the one that seals the deal for them and gives them that trip on over to the grand finals, Max. What a game from Goat.
कोजी के ऊपर देखते हैं अपन उधर क्या हुआ अपना क्या चोक
Playing
हुआ
alongside this ditch,
क्या हुआ अपन
it's around the
वो जो अपना
at the game.
शेल्टर लेकर का है ना वो अपन देखते
See
हैं
who have position.
यहाँ पे तो
in
उन्हीं
the
अच्छा
side.
फाइट है अच्छा फाइट
South side, it's Goat.
थोड़ा पीछे ले दो
The sidelines.
और पीछे जो एकेओपी मरता है ना वहाँ पे
D plus with one player left standing.
देखो ये इधर है
Trying
अभी
to
ओजी
run
आई
up as
नहीं
places as they can, but Chips
अब
now
ये
the
बीच पर
open
इधर ये
will
आतंकी
be taken
निकला
down, and the point goes to
आतंकी
OG,
निकला
who are now very close
उसके
to
पीछे
GS.
एक पे आया
And they're
उसके
behind
बाद
loops on
यहाँ पे
7-7. OG with the crash actually
क्रैश हुआ
over
वहाँ पे
Genji's position, but one of them's not
वहाँ
on
पे
the
लोगों को
ball.
पोजीशन पता चल गई
I mean, for OG, this looks a lot
यहाँ
more
पे
aggressive.
खड़ा है
It looks
एक
good.
तो
I
भी
mean,
तो क्लियर
they
दिख रहा
are
है
trying things today, and I
जो
like it.
मेन
I
हो
really do like it. Atanki now on the
आराम
side
से
wall.
और
This
यहाँ
guy
पे
has to
ब्रोकन वॉल
move
से तो
up
खड़े
in the
लेके
vehicle.
मतलब ना गाइस
There is a nade sent out.
मेरे को बताओ एक सेकंड ना
It's a little bit too far, but
यहाँ पे भी इस गॉड गाड़ी यहीं पे है नहीं लेटना था वैसे नहीं लेटना मेरे को तो लग रहा है ना थोड़ा अपने को वहाँ पे और होल्ड करना चाहिए था थोड़ा और होल्ड
Molotov will cause Dami to be sat down on the side. Nade goes a little far again from Genji, but GS assaulting from the sidelines too.
Get a bunch of eliminations. GS as
सबसे बड़ा
well.
disadvantage
You
अपने
can
को
see
इधर
they're
हुआ
trying
ना
to do everything they can. It's just so difficult with
जो
this
एक पे अपना
point
बना
lead
वहाँ
from
पे अपने को
loops, right? They're
disadvantage
hanging
बहुत
on by a thread here.
They're just falling
disadvantage
through these games, just hoping. Just one point, sir, please. That is 4v1, just one extra point. And you know what? A point might just be the difference maker at the end of the day between 11th and 12th position. Who continues in the last chance and who is sent after these next matches. 2 mirror balls is able to seal their fate.
बहुत अच्छा मारा भाई वहाँ पे
Man Museum
यहाँ पे भी निकल जाता
all over the place. Oh my goodness. D plus Kia going full send onto Genji.
Pretty
In my opinion, the
much
crash
third
was
party
very
में
poorly executed.
कुछ
Keeping
TN
chips
का
as
player
an
था ना
offender on a
उधर,
flat
TN
train
के
like this
नेट
was
की वजह
the
से
wrong decision, Niptura. And then
क्लियर
Orangutan.
अपन TN के नेट की वजह से
Opportunistic, right? Looking to go for third party. I appreciated that one.
तो वैसे वो जेंजी के
I
प्लेयर
did, but again, it was just a
अपन
little
रह
bit
सकते
too
थे,
late,
लेकिन
right?
हुआ
They tried to do something there on the opposite
Still
side, trying to just
elimination.
pincer
14
Genji there,
eliminations.
but it just wasn't gonna work. The
OG
timing
done
was way
elimination.
off there, but we see these rotations, Max. You're right? Goat over in Primorsk, a complete opposite side of the map
Shit.
from everybody else.
शेर भाई
That was
शेर
They had to get a lot of fuel to make that
10
rotation.
eliminations के साथ OG ये मैच
To make
निकाली
sure those cars were still in working condition. Here, really adamant to play these high ground positions in this spot on the map, and then they go for the side next to OP Dip, and this is the terrain knowledge
यहाँ
I was
पे
talking about. That position they
जो भी हुआ
had.
ना अपना यहाँ पे यहाँ से जो अपने को इधर आने का ना अपने पास यहाँ पे कुछ नहीं है ये पूरा ओपन एरिया और ये भी इधर जो है ना ये डाउन रिच अप रिच नहीं है ये डाउन रिच तो यहाँ पे जो अपने को यहाँ पे कुछ है ही नहीं होल्ड करने के लिए यहाँ पे ये होल्ड किए थे ये लोग यहाँ पे होल्ड किए यही अपने को
It's
issue
so
है।
hard for teams to breach you entering from the western side.
देखो,
So
ये
they just held
पूरा
it
area
down,
है ना
protected themselves with the cars. And
पूरा ये
against the
down
orangutan, they did
Yeah.
not want to have to deal with the side of Ghost. They're like, oh, well, Museum does a fight with D+.
उसने
We'll
never
go
बोला
for that
था ना
instead because Go, that
उसके-
position is way too strong.
मतलब
And Go,
भैया, never बोला था
knowing the orangutan left, they fight IC instead in that compound, and then boom, full control of the southern western side.
मुझे भी 13
Easy,
points.
easy wrap up for
Crazy.
that chicken dinner on Goat's side.
crazy हो गई
20
Really?
points on the board. I mean, that is what they
Nice.
needed. Tiamba put up 20 as well. I mean, you can tell they're just trying to pull out all the stops here, Neptura.
They really are some really good shows from Tiamba, but oh, it's just a little too late.
दो
man.
मिनट
It's
और
a little too
दो
late.
मिनट और
There's
ऐसा
2
निकालो
games
अब
left
टॉप
for
11
them
में
to
हो
put up. I mean,
Survival
we're talking
stage में
about
जाओ
them having to put up an equal number of points in both the upcoming Miramars for them to really have a shot at the top 11, right? At going to last chance. And so that's just going to be so difficult. But
Last moment,
better
man.
late than never, I suppose. I really like what we saw from them. That's the Tiamba we're used to seeing. Hopefully,
APC
we can
0
see that again in the next
0
game.
Bull 0
I agree. I
That's it,
personally,
Chad.
with how chaotic I know these last 2 matches are going to be, especially the last match for sure, I think it's done and dusted for Tianba. But that just goes to say, right? If they somehow make it happen, it will be the comeback of the entire year, Max.
I mean, rejects. Why 0 points? Alter Ego. Why 0 points? Oh, we were having some good momentum. Yesterday for Alter Ego, today for Reject. No follow through on this game. It was definitely not an easy match for these teams. I do have to say, if you had to be center very early, like your Genji, like your D pluses. But regardless, that momentum did not follow through. Hopefully that could be the case going into those Miramar matches. Though congrats to Killer Joe from GOAT Team being your game MVP.
And
4
even
eliminations,
characters-
very important on his fight actually in during that push onto the Pakistani team that shall not be named.
Let's see
Actually,
this.
is currently in the position, and they are currently in the
different
cutoff. Here, they would not make it
ज़्यादा
to the grand
different
final,
नहीं है।
just barely. We need to see a comeback from those guys.
ज़्यादा डिफरेंस नहीं है 11 पे 85 अपन 77 इनका अगर 2 मैच खराब जाता है क्या अगर 2 मैच खराब जाता है और अपन 2 मैच अच्छा खेलते हैं अपन यहाँ पे कहीं 8 9 पे 10 पे आराम से आ जाएंगे क्लियर है ये अपने को चाहिए 77 85 भाई कितना ही 8 पॉइंट का बफर 8 पॉइंट का मतलब बफर मतलब डिफरेंस है ठीक है अपने को ये कवर करना है 2 मैच है दोनों मिरामर मेरे को मालूम ज्यादा है मिरामर में अच्छा भी खेलते कर देंगे हो जाएगा खेलना चाहिए बस
I'm gonna tell you right
जो
now.
Really do.
जो हिसाब से ये मैच खेला इन्होंने
In-game
Well, you have to
positioning
get
and
it
game
confirmed.
presence. For IC, I would say just up the ante a little bit here. Not
Hey,
be
man,
more careful,
he's
but
got
just
more.
be a little bit more persistent with their plays.
shit
Max, you agree with that?
I would agree. I'm looking. Sorry, I'm just looking at the
What
hot drop
player are
situation
you?
right now. So Goat have a hot drop in common in El
Shit,
Pozo with
what player?
Falcons.
Let's
That could
go.
be a very impactful one. If Goat go out early, that could open up the floodgates for some of these teams to do a final last-ditch effort to get in the top 3. If you're Goat though, Hodrix, now we're going on the opposite side. No, they know they might be targeted. They can't afford to go out early. I would say you change your drop location. You go Ruins, you go Tierra Bronca, you go Campo Militar, you go prison. For all I care, you don't take the hot drop. Otherwise, you are throwing massively. If I see it happen, Goat, for me, I don't want to see in the finals. Sorry, that would be the throw of a lifetime.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I think that GOAT should definitely mix things up here because personally, I mean, we've seen too much esports at this point, right? I think if you're IC and AE, if you do the same thing and just try to add it up, I don't think you're making it. Like, without a doubt, there's no chance. 25 points is too big to cross. You've done this all year long, right? Why not try to get to the finals here and now? Don't even worry about last stage, right? So, last chance.
Yes.
So, if you're IC, I'm not gonna say hot drop, right? I don't think you're gonna hot drop, right? But
No.
do something to possibly camp out a rotation. You gotta figure out a way to take this team out early because if they put up 5 points, I think it's over, right?
Yeah.
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 So
I
they
would
need
agree.
0. They need 0, right? So I mean, honestly, if I see IC or any of these teams going down, and this is how I feel about it, right? I don't even want to see you in the grand finals. I don't. Like, I hate it. It's the worst thing ever. You gotta do something different, right? I mean, if this was PMSL, you don't want to, like, you know, upset other teams, fine. But this is where the big money is on the line. Come on.
Okay, chat. We're sorry. He's very passionate right now. Okay, he's a bit angsty. Okay, just he'll relax after this game. Don't worry.
Yes. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine for GOAT if they put up 5 points. I'll tell you that right now.
Calm down, Hot Troops.
That is
Let us
true.
talk, okay? So you're too much. We need to hold him back. Oh my goodness. But you know what, Niptra? I think that, like, genuinely to have a bit of a conversation on what Hodrix is talking about. Do you want to go for the hot drop and take that risk? I would not recommend it.
No.
I just don't want to see a full squad out of those teams that are competing for top 3 get towards the late stage, circle 5, 6, and just play hyper passive. Placement points aren't going to cut it. You need to frag out, and late game, we need to see some strong presence here on these Miramar matches.
We do, and I think it's for those 3 teams in particular, right? GOAT, Inner Circle, and Alter Ego. Those 3 teams in particular have a very similar playstyle when it comes to the late game. They play mid to edge. So you're going to see all 3 of those teams actually on the edge of the circle trying to farm out other teams and spread and split in the end game. If one of those teams can catch GOAT early before they do that, or in that push to go split on the edge, they actually find GOAT, see them in the Elam feed, and head to their direction. That could be a huge rotational sort of backstab that doesn't include the risk of a hot drop to me. So I would love to see both of those teams do that.
Definitely. If we have one of these teams that are chasing the top 3 and you see in the elimination feed when you flush out a player, that is GOAT. I want you to, and you have all your players in a healthy condition, I want to see you just rush them right away.
Yes.
If we don't see that, for me, you don't have what it takes, Hotjukes, to be a grand finalist team.
I agree. That's what I'm talking about, right? I'm not saying the hot drop, but if you even get the slightest scent, right, that GOAT is near you, you need to be headed in that direction without a shadow of a doubt, because a chicken dinner, 10 eliminations ain't gonna do it if GOAT puts up 5 points here. Now, that's the top, right? Now, to survive to the last chance, I think GS needs to do the same thing with loops, right? I mean, reject, it's such a big point difference. It's gonna, I think too many things need to happen, right? And the same goes for, you know, like Tianba. But I mean, I want to see something different from the teams at the bottom as well. And since you have so many squads having to do that, these last 2 matches are going to be insane, Nepturo.
Yeah, they are. I mean, if Rejects had Tiamba's game in that last Erangel, we would see probably a very different storyline coming through if Rejects able to get into the top 11. But the way it's looking, I think both Tiamba and RC are just not looking where they need to be for that next 2 game push rather. So GS and OG, I'm looking at OG still. They've kept themselves in the running today. I think both those teams need to be targeting Loops, targeting 9Z as well. And those 2 teams, 9Z and Loops, they got to be careful, man.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, so just to reaffirm, okay, Loops, yeah, they're 3 points away from GS, so that's mighty close. All right, OG are good, about 8 away. Tianba are 15 away, right? So Tianba, you know, Rejects, those guys definitely got to do something crazy here. But I mean, it's going to be a crazy last 2 matches for sure. And honestly, my eyes are going to be on GOAT to see how they perform in this game. I think if they put up, like I mentioned, 5 points, they're going to be solid. Loops, however, we need another 10-point game. I think Loops, if they put up a 10-point game here going into the last match, they should feel good. They should feel pretty good. Does that seem about right to you guys?
I would agree. I would agree on that one. I'm looking at the point difference right now. You could even say middle of the rankings, Papara, Supermassive Blaze, Falcons, technically top 3 is not impossible. I know it's very unlikely, and no Hodrix is going to say it normally never changes at the end of the day. It always stays the same. But, yeah, which is true. But that one time it does happen. Oh my goodness, that would be a hell of a story. So yeah, Falcons, Papara, Supermassive Blaze, Wolves, Genji. I know there's a lot of pressure, a lot on the line here. You know what? Even if they do not make it here, Niptro, they're still going to last chance. But then you got to be top 2. You got to qualify now, otherwise it's going to be so much harder for you to actually make it to Bangkok for these grand finals.
It just is so difficult from here on out. And if you thought, you know, group stage was hard, last chance is going to be even worse, because now you've got all those teams in last chance just desperate. You think these teams are playing hard now? Wait till we get to last chance, because that is the end of the line for the majority of the teams. There are so few slots left once we get over there that those teams just going to be having a really hard time to do anything, I think. So we'll see what happens when it comes to that. So I wouldn't want to be in those shoes, in that place, in that position. So really those last 2 games, these last 2 games coming up, it's do or die, because, man, I don't want to be in last chance if I were them.
That's a fact, right? For those guys who don't know, we got Group Red coming to happen the day after tomorrow, right? And we're going to have some monster squads joining the fray of last chance. That's for sure, right? So, I mean, that's the last position you want to put yourself in. So, looking at those leaderboards again, mathematically, for a possibility, just a sly, you know, wide shot, it's 9th place. Okay, 9th place could have a shot into top 3, and the way that happens again, GOAT cannot put up a single point, and they would need at least probably a 15 elimination chicken dinner, right? That's a lot of things to happen. And the problem with this again, and this is why I was saying this, Max, right, and Neptura,
yeah,
is that last game, you know, you have so many teams that need so many points. They're going to be going crazy, pushing everything. So, man, you got to be able to do it in this game, at least in my opinion, Nepturo.
Yeah, it's going to be something that you really just need to get your head on straight for these Miramars, Jukes, because this is the last chance.
Well, you know what? I want to hear from Jafar from GS. Let's see what 7 has to say from this guy in their last match of the day, possibly.
Welcome to a quick report with the 7WG. I'm joined by none other than GS Jafar. Yesterday, going into Miramar, you had one of the best performances. You ended up getting 9 eliminations, a 4th place finish. Now, with currently just 3 points away from top 11, what is the mentality going into Miramar?
انت بارحه ميرامار يعني ابدعتوا ما شاء الله عليكم. هسه انتوا 3 نقاط من توب 11. شنو تفكيرك لما اتجاه هاي ميرامار بالنهايه؟
والله شوف، مو بس بميرامار، اليوم من بدايه الجيم عقليتنا انه مو بس انه توب 11، عشان نحاول نجيب لنا جيم حلو ونتاهل، بس الحمد لله راح نحاول نركز بقيومتنا، نحاول نلعب مثل البارحه وان شاء الله نقدم اداء حلو.
It's not just Miramar. We're entering today with a completely different mindset. We're aiming to actually make top 3 but it doesn't seem very likely. So more likely we're aiming just to make it to top 11. We're doing really well in the previous maps, and we think we can continue that momentum.
Oh yeah, I like that mentality. At first, you guys were aiming for top 3. Top 3 teams are playing lights out. That turned out to be unlikely. Top 11, it's almost right there. I'm hoping you guys can make it. Thank you so much, brother. Back to y'all.
Yeah, top 3 is a little too far away for GS, but last chance is still right there. Okay, well, we're going into Miramar, Max, right?
Yes.
I like what you said. I think GOAT should change up their drop location. I know you're very familiar with the drops here in Miramar, okay? If that's the case, where would you want to see GOAT drop? How about that?
I think I gave a few options earlier. You got Ruins, Campo Militar, Tierra Bronca. Prison was a bit of a meme pick, to be honest. I don't mean that one seriously.
Yeah.
But you got a lot of northern positions. Even the trash route around water treatment wouldn't be a bad option. I think northern side here, Nictra, would be the best option because a lot of the lobby is or central or more focused around Chumacera, Los Leones. Those positions are heavily just cluttered with teams at this point. So yeah, northern side, I would say not a bad shout for GOAT team.
Yeah, and also avoid anything near the teams that are coming for you, right? Alter Ego in particular do an El Hazahar truck stop split, as we've seen in the past. So for that, you're talking about the northern side, I completely agree. Just stay away from the northeastern side. Maybe some ruins, maybe something over there would be a lot better.
Didn't we have... sorry, my memory is... it's coming back to me. Didn't we have a hot drop? Gen G versus GOAT team in Hacienda de Patron Day 1?
That's right. That's right, we
did. That was their first
No
win,
way we
right?
see that again, right? No way.
Bro.
There's no way
Maybe.
GOAT risks it.
Maybe?
I mean... But the thing is that if GOAT...
kind of cool.
And that's the thing, is that if GOAT does it and they win it, I mean, that could be it. Here and now.
It's done.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I actually wouldn't hate it. They got enough of a gap, Jukes. They could risk it in this game and then come back in Miramar. I think they might just have enough of a gap to maybe make that play.
I said that for the memes. I can't believe you guys are like, actually, yes. I was just like, it happened once. Don't do it, please. Go, if you're listening, don't. It was a bad idea.
But they might.
A party in Hacienda. That is what I want to see for sure. Well, guys, you know the leaderboard. You know which teams need to perform. We're headed to the desert here. Last 2 matches of the day. Are we going to see that hot drop? Blanket John, I know you want to. That's for sure.
Go! Kaya nagdalawa ka countdown na ay yes pa agad kita. Wala na mga
If there's one thing I love, it's a hot drop on Miramar. It's brilliant. I have no complaints about it, ever. I think it's the best thing that's ever happened when 2 teams sit in Picado for 15 minutes. Wow.
I hate it, personally. It's horrible.
Oh, yeah.
But you are right. There is definitely chance for some hot drops. But to be honest, at this point in time, it's starting to feel like Group Green is winding to a close already with GOAT getting the amount of points they did, the amount of teams chasing. I think it's difficult to catch them up. There's basically this outside chance of a team needing 2 really strong games back to back to overtake GOAT, and they also need to be in striking range, which fortunately a lot of teams are towards that 100-point range. Down towards the bottom of the tables is probably the more interesting aspect of it all. I think we can refocus in on the top 3 after next game if a team starts to chase.
Yeah, I think that's a totally reasonable outlook to take going into the final 2 matches into the Miramar set. The last potentially of the year for some of these teams. For 5 of our teams, they won't be playing it a tournament again until the new year. The circle, okay. It's not dramatic here. And to be fair, we've had our fair share of dramatic circles. We had 2 back to back. So we're a little bit more sane on this one.
Yeah, down towards the south side, it's a very easy playing path into a very easy circle. Papra Supermassive are dropping here. I think Inner Circle, like we say, are the closest, but even then, what is that? 25 points behind. Require GOAT to go down early twice. They are on that north side towards Hacienda. There's no hot drops happening there. The closest really is this between Papa Supermassive and Alter Ego, but even then, they're looking to send out and get away. I think every team's trying to maximize their chances to get in. Now, Loops is that marker, and they have been that marker for a very long time now in 11th place. GS chasing just 3 measly points behind. It's also wild to me that all the way down in 9th place, 98 points, is still chasing towards that top spot. Sorry? Ooh. Why did Doc do that?
That's
why did Dammy?
What's go? Hello? I feel like there's something going on.
No, it's a rehost. It's absolutely a rehost, yeah.
It's got to be a rehost. There's no way that this is just happening, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay, interesting.
That's, okay. Wow. That was a little nerve-wracking for a second. Yeah, they'll start to make themselves out. Very clear that's what is going on. As soon as the second team started to do it, I thought, okay, yeah, definitely. We'll hopefully be told what is going on as soon as possible. Yeah, it seems like we just got some glitches.
We'll be getting back into the game pretty soon-ish. But it being Doc, I was like, I didn't put it past Doc to do something odd, right? Luckily for us, get straight back into things. We can see here, I mean, teams are worried, right? I mean, Tiama's definitely worried of where they're going to end up. It's a stressful one getting into that game. You know, you've all had all this pent-up tension to now suddenly in this position where you got to get a restart. A lot of that adrenaline is out the window.
I mean, we'll see if the circle's as friendly as it was this time around, right? That's what we were looking at. We're thinking about, okay, the circle's kind of chill. It seems to be okay. Everything's fine. Sure. This is when the circle goes out to the East Islands, right? It's after a game like this, or a Partona, right? We'll see if we'll get some crazy shenanigans unfolding very soon. Reject looking to fix their issue. I believe we are going to be going back over to the analyst desk fairly shortly to give a little bit more breakdown on the proceedings before we get stuck into Miramar. It's not just yet. So the hot drop's not going to happen just yet, Hot Jukes. I know you really wanted it. I know that was your favorite thing. You absolutely love it, but we've denied it on this time around. But guys, do you think it'll be the same this time around?
Let's see and find out. You know, apologize, of course, for the technical delays, you know, but we got it going on right now, you know. So the good thing that we have when it comes to this little reset, you know, is that we got a glimpse of where teams are landing. You know what I'm saying? So we got a nice little psych that happened. We know that GOAT were in Hacienda del Patron right there, right? So super interesting that we got to see, but man, right? A little bit more extra tension before these last 2 games. You love to see it here, Max.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little bit shocked what was happening, and so I was like, the elimination feed, no. So
I was like,
I was like, okay, no, the Doc prank is done, you know, no Trey PG prank. But yeah, a little rehost here, all fine, going to give these teams a little bit ample time to prepare for this match on Miramar. But yeah, from what I was seeing right at the start of that game, Hot Jukes, we didn't see any big hot drops who were like actually going to have a massive impact on the storyline. So for me, we're going to see a very similar thing here going on to the actual first Miramar. No prank, no.
That's right. Yeah, you know, man, I'll tell you what, you know, when this happens, it definitely just gets teams, I think, possibly even rethinking things a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about you guys. I'm super superstitious. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if I'm there in Thailand, and I'm like, no, let's just play a regular game. And then, you know, we get a little rehost happening. I'm like, it's a sign. We got to hunt them down, guys. Like, we got to do it right now. What do you think? Is it just me when it comes to that kind of stuff? What do you think, Max?
Yeah, no, maybe okay. It's just you. I mean, John was saying also that's the game we usually get an island finish on the east. So I don't know. You guys have some interesting theories that I don't think are going to come into play. But, you know, who knows? You know, that one time it does happen, it'll be fun for sure.
Where's my tinfoil hat, right? I need it right here now. Let's go. Neptura, right? 2 more matches left to go. We're pretty much very aware of the storylines that are coming on, right? We got the teams at the top hunting down that top 3, teams at the bottom, right? What do you think could surprise you here in this last game? You know what I'm saying? Or in these last 2 matches that we got in Miramar. First one of the day, we didn't see a hot drop on the rehost, all right? Do you think we're going to actually see teams hunt people down, or is it going to be just another regular match?
I don't know. I really want to see teams actually go for it, but I think they're not going to. I think it's going to be Miramar, just super chill. We're just gonna have a normal Miramar match here, Jukes.
I got a good feeling that could be true as well, but I don't want to see it. We know that GOAT are going to Hacienda. That's a fact, right? So they're not changing up their drop location. They're not doing that water treatment split max. So, I mean, teams are going to know where they're going.
For sure. I mean, there's going to have some information out there. I was looking at Ultra Ego. They were dropping pretty close to one team. They can't afford a bad game here, Hotchuk. So Ultra...
One of those teams at the bottom can possibly pass up loops here. One of those teams at the bottom can possibly pass up loops here, John and Blank.
And that is what we are going to be paying attention to, right? On the just before there, Blank, you were talking about how it is going to be much more interesting to focus on that bottom side of the tables for this game upcoming, rather than go a little bit towards the top sides, right? Because it is a question of, can a team have a massive game here, and then we'll look at them. So that bottom set, much more prescient, much more present in the mind.
Feels like we're getting a bit of deja vu now, getting back into Miramar once again. There are definitely a fair few squads that need to step things up. I can't believe Tiamba was able to get such a high placing finish in that last match. With the amount of points they're able to accrue as well, it was a silly amount. I think they were able to get 20 points in the end to close out that game. Still more to be gathered here, but we'll take a look in with the leaderboard when it does pop up on the screen shortly. It's so crazy that everyone has been... It's very, very competitive Group Green, honestly. It's a scary lobby. Whoever chose these groups is really quite mean.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, Group Red will be interesting. I think we're going to Boltona this game. Pretty sure 100% going to go all the way down south. Let's kick it off.
I wouldn't mind it. It's a hard circle, though. You know, Minstelvae, Chumacera in general is pretty difficult. Alter Ego, this time up against Papa Supermassive in close range. One player very low, looks to head upstairs, still darting around, has a gun now to work with. But just a couple of shots from Rosemary, and he's whiffing here.
Rosemary's figured out exactly what he's got. Nico, I mean, it looked like he had a bandage there, maybe a stim. He was able to pop. Rosemary certainly has some healing on, but a full med kit here is huge for Rosemary. To be able to get all the way back up to full HP, this is a massive advantage now. Drops down for the Julies and will start for the spray on the hop out. He's not quite back on 12 rounds, but he's only going to need a couple of them, 3 remaining in the chamber, and Rosemary picks up a crucial point here against Papa Supermassive. I mean, I said we weren't going to focus on the top 3. They want it desperately.
I mean, to be honest, Alter Ego having issues that last game, which is why we did have that reset, where they're able to effectively get away from Papara Supermassive to a very stressful start here versus Papara. But Rosemary, absolute legend in the game, able to get it done versus Nico, who is also a very, very good player, by the way. Two extremely strong fraggers going face to face. Alter Ego do get alive. Do get away with it alive. But 82 points for GS. I was highlighting that just beforehand, but it's only 3 points to go. It's not many. This is Luce's time to kick the old engine into gear, because Been very slow today to get off this marker, consistently being in the danger zone.
That's really unpleasant of a place to be. I mean, yeah, it's 10th and down that are in danger here in these last two. Losing players, losing points, losing opportunities is big news for the teams at that lower side. D+, I mean, they're fairly split right now. Osal is on his own, picking up a pan. I mean, if another player from Papra Supermassive goes down here as well, that is going to be real bad news. I don't think Kamikaze knows there's a player on the inside, or actually maybe he does here, knows what building he's in, but they're going to regroup and get out of there. So see if they can stay alive, keep everyone now that they have remaining in this match. They definitely need it. I mean, they're right at the back of the pack chasing. They're just ahead of the pack that isn't. E+ though have laid a trap. That's what Kamikaze did a lot of damage, but it's actually not to find Tron B out the open. Papra Supermassive are bleeding.
Yeah, now, we can put it this way, is that Papra Supermassive, their run's done. So we'll be seeing them in last chance now. You go down to 2 players this early on Miramar, you are not finding a lot of points. And at 98, it is a tall order from them. Even in the next game, I think it would be mathematically impossible to make it in towards the top 3. I think for Papra Supermassive, I think we can count them out now as a team trying to chase all those top 3 spots.
Yeah, it would be so they'd need to, you know, wipe half the lobby themselves in the next match to be able to even think about getting up into 3rd place, and even then that relies on Goat not doing a thing in this match. So we'll have to see just what they could do. I mean, just solidify yourself, right? Play for those small ball games. If you get 10 more points this match, in these next 2 matches, you will be very, very secure. For Papra Supermassive, that might be what they're looking for. Anywhere over that 100-point boundary generally is what we said feels very safe, right? For not getting bumped down into the full elimination from PMGC. Right now, it's not the greatest of company there, right? With Team Secret getting 24 points only. Yeah, bad time for them. Reject, who tried their best today, and Tiamba, who out of nowhere had a little bit of a comeback, sort of in a possible launchpad position. So I think with this game, Tiamba and Reject, this is where we can count them out or start to really consider them and have the team start to feel.
Yeah, again, you do have this situation where this is Last Chance Saloon. This game, everything relies on this. It's not going to be match 6. That's going to be the decider. It's this one which will enable match 6 to happen. And if WizGod gets taken out of the vehicle here, now their life becomes a lot harder, but they still have next game to work with over towards top 11. But for the likes of Tiamba, Reject, for them, this match is so important. I think Tiamba had just a crazy run from her angle to set things up here, and it really will be some of those final moments to get this done.
It's really tough stuff from front to back here on the engagements. Teams now moving their way down to the southwest side, around Los Leones, where we saw Team Secret just there, along with OG. Moving down north, actually, it's only GS who are still up on the north side of this circle, north of El Pozo. Everybody else north of El Pozo.
जो भी chat में है एक बार मेरे को बताओ chat में कंपनी का
of Chumacero. Actually, Papra Supermassive did send over to Bartona.
भाई ये ट्रेंड हमें क्या मार रहा है?
If it goes there,
अबे क्या मार रहा है?
that's one way to try and earn a lot of points.
तड़प मार रहा है, तड़प मार रहा है.
Indeed.
तड़प मार रहा है.
Sort of live it out, really. D+ still looking to breach over the top side of Alpha Gaming. Themselves up in number 1, where they used to be. And doing it by 1 or 2 points would really rub. Exactly what they did to Regnum Kaya last year. A nice central position right now from Reject, John. I think they can play. It's a bit of a split, but waiting for zone 2. We know that is a really big shrink on the circle. So for this kind of split, it's absolutely fair play by Reject when they're center.
See if they can earn the points for it, though, on that central position. Next circle. Just about to pop. Okay, we're not going to Partoad, but we are going to buy them up. And these hills are really very dangerous. APG sit atop them. Falcons are going to regroup. 9ZG taking the town by storm. And the Wolves crunching in from the north from La Triera. So, who's going to join them? Who's going to be able to push on through? And that central position for Reject is basically taken away immediately.
It's a bit unfortunate for Reject there. Being so split to try and get a position to then have to move towards this portion of the map, which we actually haven't seen a lot of here at PMGC. I don't think during Gauntlet. This is the first time we'll really see this position of the map. I know OG actually has a pretty good hold down towards the eastern side of La Triera, but they're quite far from this one, and taking that position is going to be difficult. GS though rotating in from that west side, nice-ish position, but there's so many teams looking to get towards Mias Davide.
Down towards that southwest side. I mean, GS making their way on the west point. Loops now taking that left hill. APG.
GS versus 90.
On the high
GS
big
versus
dogs of the
90.
lobby. They have shown weaknesses though, and will this be one of them? It's not going to matter really too much for them either way. They're locked in those top spots. There's no way that two teams will be, or three teams rather, will be able to jump up. It might be a question of who's first and who has those bragging rights going in. Just to chill out, have a good time, learn as much as they can about all these other teams that they may well very be facing in those grand final stages. I see they had that fight with GOAT in the last game where they just weren't quite able to hold out on their compound. GOAT were successful on the crash, and that's really what allowed GOAT to get that chicken dinner, right? If IC had got that chicken dinner, this is a very different match, but now they sit not quite 30 points behind, playing. They're 25 behind, but a big game here. They can take APG down on the hilltop. It could be.
So we go losing one player. It's a good opportunity to make it happen. Good as any. Wolves also in a fairly central spot right now. In a circle. Sadly, OG do take a knock as they move in versus Genji. He's over towards Falak as well, which is not the play you want to lose.
Not in a moment like this, definitely not. They'll be missing him sorely. But still 3 players on side, next circle coming through as well. Held at the top, as we're seeing on our camera feed. And we're going up to the north side, so D+, straight past Papara Supermassive. And over towards that bridge. I wouldn't be too surprised to see Supermassive going down fully here, but D+ might be the spot.
Supermassive looking to take shots. They're coming in right on the center side here. Supermassive getting ahead of them though is a big deal. And this is the team that D+ has been chasing down. Feels pretty rough for these poor guys. As they're attempting to it's just not happening. More damage pouring in. Now Wolves looking to finish the job here. Igor consistently playing split from the rest of the team. He does survive towards the end, but I think sometimes he doesn't provide enough support to the team by the time that they need to regroup. It's not quite with them. Go lose Kraken. Just start to put some points on the board potentially.
I mean, this is big news for the bottom of the table, right? But it's also big news for the top of the table. If GOAT goes down here, and right now they are split from their reses with a lot of nades in hand for GS. Every single one of them. Down here, that stops the third place. Will make it a little bit easier for the teams chasing. And if GS get the points, they're chasing down loops too. D+ getting on over the bridge. Would be nice to hold up the top there, but I mean, it's really difficult to keep this one under control with the number of positions on the hill to this northeast side that Osal's looking towards that have oversight, right? I don't think the D plus that's what they're doing. They're just using it to leap. Osal might even be able to find an elim for it as well. They're crashing. There's someone down. Someone can't do the dirty. Not this time around. Not a repeat of Erangel. And now it's just battered on the inside. And guess who's nowhere to be seen, Blank? It's Igor.
What the fuck, DK?
But it's a crazy setup. A crazy setup coming through from D+. The fact that you have Osal on the bridge and he's calling that I have the shot and I'm going to get the knock, and the rest of D+ trust him. That's the only way that they are that fast towards his fight is if they trust him to get that knock and they sail in as those bullets are flying. Wolves had absolutely no time to react to this. I think for Igor, this is one of the few times where it's sort of excusable because that push was insane.
Flying in as well on that southwest side. GS and Go still Batten is besieged beneath on the ground floor. A lot of shotgun shells flying. There was a double in the Go fight, and they found now standing. Batten is down on our main stream. Looking for the swivel. GS still giving it a good go, and that is Go down. They will fall short on this one. So a non-moving target now. 133 for our teams chasing. It's too far out of reach maybe for this match, but put yourself next door for the next one and see what you can find. Not only that, but Blank, GS, 11th place. What do you got?
That does knock Loops down, but this is Loops in a fantastic spot atop the hill right now. West side led the area. It's a really, really strong position to play. Also, you are trying to put some feelers out towards that location, though, see if they can get something done there. Tiamba, fairly central. They do take a fair bit of damage over to one of their players. Not down just yet. OG still at 3, so despite all the happening on the eastern side, they were able to slowly push their way through.
Still just not a pleasant zone, this one, though. The valley that sits right down the middle is so polarizing on this next circle shift. I mean, the eastern side is slightly better, arguably, but I mean, it's a tough argument, even at that, right? Like, you've got Minas de Valle sat right on the southeast side, a little bit further north. By OG. There's that road that sits in like a river. Splits the circle.
Loops finding Wolves. Last player there. That puts Wolves Loops back into 11th. They do take a knock, though. That's Walter Ego chiming in. D+ takes down a lot from GS. So just as the door opens, it's suddenly closed by one of the best teams in the lobby, D+. These western roads, yeah, we do very well.
Doing so much work, but they do have to leave for D+. Their road forwards is going to be fraught with danger, I'm sure. The Falcons are a little bit ahead of them, but they've lost a player before as well. Papra Supermassive, they've still got their 2, and they found themselves a ditch. Oh. Will they be surviving? They've got a one. Luke's taking damage. They've kept GS out by just a breadth of a hair. But if they go down here to Alter Ego, I mean, OG would love that. That would be brilliant news. To be able to find that opening, maybe even Tianba in their central position.
Really question where this next circle goes, because if it heads over towards the western side, suddenly that hilltop becomes extremely important to a lot of teams. It's pretty awkward over towards the eastern side anyway. Although Tiamba looks like they've got a okay spot to play around with. Getting assaulted on that location of the map is going to come through thick and fast because a lot of people will want that location. So anytime there's a third party up there, Tiamba better be ready to rebuff any other teams coming their way. But it's a slow game other than that. Right now, Reject's still holding on to 4 players, playing just under the on the southeast side. And it is this next shift which will determine how the rest of the game plays out.
I mean, unless it goes dead center, that would be the worst circle. I feel like a north shift. I think That is kind of the worst case scenario. It could be a little bit further northeast, and be a little bit worse. But for a lot of teams, look at the ring of teams that is now out of zone. You've got GS, or the remnants of them. DK, you've got 9Z, you've got Gen G, APG, Team Secret, all now needing to push forwards from that south side. And they have to pick one of west or east. It is so nasty out there.
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, for Alter Ego, they actually get a blessing here. We're moving up towards that north side. Cuts a lot of their position in. There is a small location over towards the north side of them with buildings that they can play from. But I think right now they're more concerned at clearing out teams trying to get in from that western side. So that includes GS as well as D+. Massive, hats off to them. They have had such a tough game.
Yeah. Looking like Thelma and Louise right now in that car. Actually able to get the repair on it. Okay, fair enough. One of the newer additions to PUBG Mobile, and that might play quite well for them.
I mean, there's one vehicle, you know. This baby can pack a lot of Papra Supermassive players and lives to tell the tale. I think that is feeling more like a trusty friend. A vehicle now. Gonna go with them to the very end, and they'll be sad to see it blow up in flames.
Very likely to do. I thought Jafar might get the drop on Alpha, but wits are about it. Probably more preoccupied down towards D+, though. Actually, this does mean that Jafar could potentially just run in underneath them, under the cover of both of these two teams, holding front against one another. Stepping too far forwards, I don't think you can. Yeah, he's going to be able to make this dash, because neither team's going to drop down and crash the other one just yet. It's probably going to be more onto loops, and I mean, what a way to test your bubble skills right now than have players crash up on you. Falcons going to feel... They're already a knock center. We know that when D+ spell in the water, they head on in, but Narvalo's in play, and he gets the first on the Norbu, and Narvalo with two now as well. It will look for the flush. Fabian now under pressure with a nade from Redox, and Falcons just pretending to be wounded, but no, they're ready for the fight.
I love the push from D+, but yeah, I think that it was a very aggressive play, and they have been disrespecting the lobby all over the place today. Finally, Narvalo steps up with the DBS. Great double from him. Gen G, though, looked to take position off the back of this one. The fight was very quick, though, going through for the Falcons, so they got a nice reset on this, and it is a 3v3. Sadly, Narvalo's down. It's down to Koa and Ralph on the top side, but Koa whiffs the initial DBS. S-K, sorry. And Redox is out of ammo.
Oh, no. It's just nothing they could do. One hold was enough. That was all they could manage. And with 4 elims, the Falcons draw short of the mark. That means that very likely they are going to be looking in towards the last chance stage. At 31 points behind the bubble, with the potential to move as well. It's just not going to happen for the Falcons. Not today, unfortunately. We'll see how far they can get to secure that last chance, but they're doing all right. Again, this circle split down the middle by this road valley. Tiamba and actually Papra Supermassive. Well, okay, maybe not Papra Supermassive.
You've cursed them there. You absolutely cursed them there.
Okay,
yeah, that was really mean of you. And you should be ashamed.
How do you say sorry in Turkish?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Team Secret. Currently on the top side, looking down towards inner circle, immediately getting shot as they step up. D+ still being a problem, and they take down Rosemary. The solo left remaining in chips. Oh, it's terrible news for Alter Ego. That is painful. That is really, really painful.
It's good news for Loops, though. Another player taken out from their flanks. Chips is going to do a lot of work to maybe keep them safe. Gen G able to run him down, but gives Loops a little bit of time whilst Claus is healing to deal with Alter Ego on the north side. They can re-establish. They do have to move, though. This zone is putting a lot of pressure on. APG still alive, by the way. They've been marching in slowly from the southeast side, from their high ground. Marching as they go, taking these shots out, taking these fights. He knows there's players up top. He's not too worried. That rush line really difficult to descend towards APG. They're all going to line up on it.
I think OG's been spotted by Alter Ego on the top side. Loops versus Gen G now, though. A very important fight.
Ooh, absolutely. For Loops, especially. There is a knock already on Ratto Boy. And Alter Ego are starting to come down there as well. Are they going to crash in? Are they going to try and bookend this fight? The knock, the flash comes through onto Ratto Boy. And now Alter Ego are within nade range. Gen G taking a lot of damage as Team Secret are swept aside. Tiamba still have a player going as well. But their run is going to be over soon. Gen G tried to get out of here. They spotted Alter Ego over the hill. And they didn't want to get embroiled. Reject are crunching in as well. Oh, Gen G have nowhere to go. Not a hope, not a chance, and they'll fall down in the open hillsides here.
I mean, Luke's getting a lot of value off the back of this, though. Tiamba held versus Team Secret. Did really well. Currently, just a solo player left remaining. But for all these teams down towards the bottom, they are hoping that Alter Ego can live up to their name and take down Loops.
In the smoke. Alva biding his time, steps up, but Moana's down in the back lines. No trade, and Alva's going down next. Loops holding on for dear life in 11th place, and they want more than that. They're going to move in with 3 now from the high ground. Reject not quite in position to take them down. Look at the chase. It is on. They're actually up into 10th place now. And with Tiamba chasing, in 11th place is 90 points. I mean, they've got 4 players alive. It's maybe a little bit out of reach for now, but how close can they get for the last? We'll see what they can do. And not only that, Inner Circle are down on that roadside too, dead center.
And looking to push further, and the circle moves over towards them. For Tiamba, they need to deal with Alpha Gaming. It will be one of the biggest tests of their tournament so far. Considering the fact that Tiamba is barely into any of these endgames, just a step up now in these final hours of Groove Green is somewhat surprising. But yeah, Nazi is now the target in 11th place. Loops see themselves a little bit safer going forward. Tiamba, it's not the craziest of points that they'd need at this point in time. I think they need 7 more elims and the chicken dinner to break even, which is doable. It's definitely doable from this spot. I think that the issue comes is that Alpha Gaming is also in these ending circles, and that is not a team to be trifling with.
They are in these circles, sure. Getting shot out by Loops. OG get run down by Reject. And Tiamba aren't the only team chasing, remember? It could be a really, really close battle going into our last match blank as to who's going to take that 11th place spot. But for the 3rd place bubble, if Inner Circle don't get a big game here, get close to 133, we're pretty much locked in. But they might be on for a big game. If they can hold this side of the road, they can hold their position. But with APG above them, that's so difficult.
Basically, Inner Circle have to win here. Joel knows exactly where the players are. Drops a Molotov down. The util's pretty lacking on the side of APG, but when has that really mattered? There's our gun skill gods in the lobby. Tiamba, though, took this moment to move over the top. The nades are feeling pretty lackluster, though. Not quite hitting on target. They have the high ground, but they've got to find these shots if they want to move further through this tournament.
Loops across the way, Reject just behind that little ridge, and QZ connects with the bank just to his right. And not over towards Reject. They move down the hills. They're going to be into the firing line. This is a mad dash for the forward duo now. For Tiamba, their backlines are getting torn apart, and Loops are holding on for dear life too. They're in 10th place, but maybe they could go even further. Now up into 4th place. They have 4 points between them and Papra Supermassive. Blank, I think they've already jumped up to potentially being completely safe here. After being on the precipice of getting eliminated, down in 11th place, this is for the game that they needed. For IC, though, for Reject, it is so important for them as well.
Yeah, for Tiamba, they're done. Couldn't quite make that push down the hillside, and we're a little bit too afraid to take the fight over towards APG. Top gets knocked, and time is dwindling away. They will be able to pick him back up again, so be able to get that heal through. It's the exit from this hillside that's going to be tough for Alpha Gaming as they move down the hillside. Reject, although their position is extremely uncomfortable, very claustrophobic, it's not that bad. It really is not that bad in this game.
Well, not for now. I think when APG leave the high ground, Loops are going to have a lot more impact onto Reject's spot, right? Because the reason that Loops can't peek is because of APG up on that high ground. Certainly not as effectively as they would have liked. But the nades are starting to rain down towards IC. Maybe. They forgot their brollies too. And they are going to have to try and shrug it off. Not quite connecting. And actually, APG are out of nades. Almost everyone is, actually.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult. I mean, Reject's got practically nothing on board. The reason why Loops can't take shots at Reject, by the way, is because there's a hill in the way.
Yeah, but they can't peek over the hill because APG will take them down immediately.
Yeah, I guess so. They still have to push forward, in which case they're in sight lines of IC too.
Difficult scenario there. APG just holding on to this high ground for as long as possible. Top really committing to it. I mean, he has that buggy to his left. I don't know how healthy it is, but we'll have to get into it at some point. The first players drop down. They have 2 smokes. Not able to get another knock onto IC makes it really, really difficult. And everyone's waiting for them to make that move because the next zone is playing and it is going to close. Reject more central than others.
And Reject just need to have a little bit of impact. Not a huge amount, but just a little bit over towards this end game. Specifically over towards Alpha Gaming as they work their way down this hillside. That's the team they desperately need to take out. Shots though from Reefus over towards inner circle, straight away. Dogos finding one over towards Neil Zarda. This is a commanding presence to be felt inside the lobby. And they're just letting this vehicle roll.
All right, I mean, use it as that moving blockade. Yol still behind it. Nobody stopped the tires just yet. But Reiji slides one under, and that is going to be Zol going down. Loops are starting to fall as well. Reject in with a jump here, but Reefus makes it all the harder. And APG still got 4 players alive. Flank Loops are stepping up now. With APG taking off that hilltop, they can go for it, but no, they still have complete broadside. They will be taken down. A Reject guarantee a 2nd place locked in. Reiji needed to get back up here, but remember, there's no nades. Hang on a minute, they found one. That's from the crate. Over on towards IC. Top launches it forwards. Is it going to connect? It looks good. And it's going to get both of them. They pick up the spoils of war, and APG, they are spoiling plenty of days with that chicken dinner.
Yeah, I think now it's definitely the bragging rights should be in the Alpha Gaming camp over in 1st place. It's been a wonderful set of 3 days. A little bit of a scary one on day 1. Sorry, a little bit of a scary one come day 2, but day 1 was just incredible. And they've just kept things fairly consistent from there. Miramar, they do extremely well on, but for Reject, 2nd place, couple of points. Still need to do a lot more in this final game, but I do believe now the top 3 should be fairly secure.
I mean, it's 133, I believe, for the 3rd place bubble. And just behind them, within arm's reach, is IC. Maybe it's a 2-horse race. Maybe things could change. There's only one way to find out.
And with that game right there, Alpha Gaming lay the hammer down on the rest of the lobby. They said, we're going to be the champs of Group Green. Don't you worry about it. That's how you finish the game in style, Neptura.
Isn't it just APG coming in hot? I love how they played this so much, Max, because they had that off angle. They had that top of the hill. They were looking down on everybody. They just wrapped around, cleared who they needed to clear, took IC's position, and said, done deal. We're going to finals. Don't ever doubt us again.
I was like, I don't really like the fact that they went north and didn't crash onto IC. And then they just start hitting all their shots. I'm like, well, if you play like that, I mean, you kind of completely counter my point of like how the macro was going to go. But Dog, top game here, over 1,000 damage, 4 eliminations. And all taking quite a bit of damage except for Reefus, of course, but otherwise everyone doing some heavy lifting. And with this game in particular, I think not only here, Hodrix, do they secure their #1 spot above D+ and GOAT team, I think Top might just secure his MVP award here for Group Green, because this guy's been on top from day 1 until the end of day 3.
Yeah.
Well deserved. That's a fact, right? I mean, I'm telling you what, dude, Top went absolutely crazy in this tournament. Day 2, again, like we heard from Blank, was a little shaky from them. You know, had us a little worried there for a second. But that Day 1 performance on Top towards the end, it was just too good. I mean, what a crazy match here. Things did kind of work out for that kind of like miracle storyline. GOAT went out super early, Max, with only 1 point.
Yeah, very early on this match. It was kind of a tough fight they were involved into, right? Niptura couldn't really make their way out. I'm sure they wanted to exit the fight, but they were just locked in Valle del Mar itself, really struggling to find any good exit point from there. And it was just the end of the line for them. But you know what? We did see then a team from Pakistan, I shall not name again, getting some decent points on board, a strong finish. I really want to see the leaderboards, though. Is it realistically still possible for some teams to make it happen? I don't know.
You can name them at this point, brother.
I'm not. I get in trouble. I'm not naming them. Just for my safety. I don't want my Instagram DMs flooded. I am not saying their name.
Okay. All right. Hey, you know what? I'll tell you what. They're going to need every little bit of luck that they can possibly get. You can see the frustration on AE's face, especially. That was a real tough loss right there for them.
Yeah, it was. I think we were discussing it, right, Max? We were kind of saying they had such a great advantage over Loops, and they just did nothing with it up on the top of that hillside. If they had been able to do a little bit more, they would have easily gotten a top 3 finish.
I was really so excited for them to do something, and they send Rosemary at one point for Alter Ego over to the western side. He gets spotted by Chips as solo. You know, fair enough, maybe they just didn't expect him to be there, but still, you need to be ready for those scenarios as we have the rotations of some of these teams. D+A, big Eastern rotate next to Los Leones, but APG, those 2-2 splits we saw for majority of that game from APG Niptura were just so well executed, and the regroup on time when Tiamba pushed on them, even that was just a thing of absolute beauty this game.
I love to see what teams can do when they're relaxed, right? Because the moment they aren't really feeling much pressure, or any pressure whatsoever, right? Top of the leaderboard, well away from the rest of the other teams, they were big chilling. They were just like, hey, we could do this. Let's be smart with it. Let's have fun. Let's take advantage of these teams. And that's exactly what they did. Real masterclass coming in for them in terms of those rotations, in terms of those splits. This final one in particular, I really loved, you know, Zeal going on the off angle there. But this is what a relaxed team play can get you. 22 points on the board, 12 eliminations. I mean, it's 22 points they don't need, and crucially, it's 22 points that have now been taken away from the rest of the lobby from those teams that really did need those points.
Yeah, because Reject put themselves in a position, actually, Hodrix, where they could escape the bottom 5 finally. They almost did it at the start of the day. They kind of slowed down in the middle, but this 13-point game, does it keep the hope alive for Japan to have one team, just one, maybe go into last chance, maybe make it to the grand finals? Because, again, if they don't make it, Japan, they're fully out of this year's Global Championship.
I'm going to keep it real, right? I'm going to keep it real here. You know, I've seen too many final games of tournaments, right, to have faith. We see it time and time again where that last game is so crazy. It's so difficult to even get 3 points, let alone more than that. So it's really up to them here and now to flip the script entirely. If they're able to pull it out here, Max, it will be historic in my eyes. I will explode in excitement.
I'm sure Sarah would be so happy to make it happen, but we just got to see the leaderboards. We got to see how many points. If it's double digits, it's going to be tough. If it's single digits away, there's a chance. Maybe it could be happening for them.
Let's
there we go.
Oh, boy. Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot. Let's see right now. Okay, for Reject, yeah, 9-0. So, by the way, Loops, once they got that position, I was like, if they don't put up some serious points right here, they're throwing completely. So they did that. They got it done. They're no longer the place team. That is now to 9Z, right? GS, 5 points away. It can happen. OG, 6 points. Actually, no, wait, don't call it. No, that's way more than that. 11. Oh, that's 11. Yeah, 11. And then you got Reject with 12. I think there's too many factors, like I said, going on for it to happen. But is it mathematically possible? Yeah.
Yeah. But realistically, improbable, right?
That's correct.
That's the situation we're in. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, realistically improbable, but if we look at the wins that we've seen from a lot of these teams so far, it eclipses 12 points by quite a bit. So it is very much possible. It's just, I think that 9Z would have to go out early and GS would have to go early. just to make that really a feasible thing, because for both of these teams that we've just not seen the presence from either of them as of yet to really dominate both the two teams ahead of them and the rest of the lobby to get the win.
So, question now, top 3, is it done? Is GOAT remaining in top 3 until the end? What are we thinking, guys? I think that with that point lead, it seems pretty locked in unless a massive hot drop happens, but I don't see it happening.
It's over. In my opinion, it's all over. It's again one of those things, right, where we have to see something magical at this point, and it's gonna be hard. The reason why, just to back up that data, right, besides what we saw in the gauntlet with 20 players left in zone 5, right, which could definitely happen here, APG just got tons of points, and they're just destroying dreams at this point, because every single one of those points, so many other teams desperately need it. And then on top of that, can we just talk about that push from D+ onto Wolves? It was disgusting, right? Oh my gosh, one knock, the rest of the team was on them, and the Wolves didn't stand a chance. So when you got the top squads going like that, and so many squads at the bottom that know they ain't got no chance, it's just so difficult to put up double-digit points, let alone just a few, Neptura.
Exactly, especially with what we've been talking about, right? The last game of any sort of stage is the one that's the most chaotic. It's the one that has the most unpredictability in it, right? So for a team that has already been struggling when teams are playing normally, for them to expect them to then go all out in a chaotic game is going to be really, really difficult. The only thing I could think of is that they might just take that chaos and run with it, because that's kind of the only thing left to them to be able to take advantage of, but otherwise it's really going to be difficult this final match.
Hot drops, man. I know we say it every time, and it never happens. Maybe this will be the one to make it happen. Tiamba, Reject, Orangutan, GS. Maybe if you're looking for a cheeky little IZ, just saying that will be a juicy one for the history books. Moving towards the top. I mean, if you want, genuinely, if you want to eliminate GOAT team, you need to fight them early. You know where they dropped. They went Hacienda. I don't think they're going to change that up realistically, Hotchu, because I think that they went for Hacienda despite Miramar, the previous Miramar, still being really tense for these teams. I think they're going to go back there if the plane is not too bad. That's a target.
Here now, right? It's going to be so stressful, right? So why take the risk? What do you got to lose at this point, right?
If I'm not mistaken, if I'm not mistaken, sorry, I'm jumping in. Didn't you have a chat with Sara at PMWC last year, Hot Jukes, and he regretted not going for the hot drop on Alpha 7, right, on Miramar?
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So in the last, so the year before at PMWC, I was saying Reject need to hot drop Alpha 7. They gotta do it. They didn't, and they did not win because of that. It actually punished them big time, lost serious money. And I talked to Sara after that tournament, and I was like, bro, how could you not hot drop? And he was like, dude, I mean, we just thought that we were just going to leave it to play and just play how we've been playing. And he looked at me with tears in his eyes, and he told me, I will never do that again, ever. Next time, I'm hot dropping, you know? And honestly, this is it. Sara, make it happen, brother, right? I mean, there could not be a better time for you. You are quite behind 9Z. What is that? Yeah, 12 points, right? Yes. You got to hot drop them. You got to do something to stop them.
Yeah, you got to, especially when it's so close. 12 points is not unheard of. Like I said before, we've seen far more points coming out of a win or a top 2 in the matches that have come before. So 12 points, it's all entirely doable. Just don't let that pressure get to you.
Yeah, Orangutan were training, dropping APG in the past right during the first stage of this tournament. Hey, maybe use that training for a positive outcome. Maybe go for the 9Z hot drop. That could be a fun one. But I know we're going for I'm sure some people are just like, okay, guys, we get it. Hot drop would be good. But it's just, if you're at the bottom right now, you're out of the tournament. There's so much on the line. After this very next game, in the next 30 minutes or so, 5 teams are fully out of PMGC 2025. Do you want to go out without a fight, or do you want to give it a final shot, a final opportunity that you take to maybe redeem this tournament for yourself and maybe make it back up in at least the last chance to have a glimmer of hope to maybe go to the grand finals? You have to try it. You can't let your fate in the hands of others here, Hot Jukes. You need to take that for yourself and give it your best shot.
Oh, you gotta make it happen right here, right now. One more match left to go. 20 seconds are left on the clock, guys. Put some hype in the chat. Give those teams, those players, all of your energy, because right after this, 5 teams, we ain't gonna see them until 2026, right? So let's see what could happen here. Last game of Group Green. John and Blank, take it away.
With one more match to go, Blank, it is here and now that teams need to make their stand, to make their mark, and book their ticket forwards to the next stages or to the grand finals. There are a few things up for grabs. There are a few things in the light now, and we need to conclude our tournament here for Group Green. That bubble at the bottom looks very, very dangerous. The top, a little bit less solid still. Could change at the drop of a hat. We just have to wait and see as our teams are dropping in.
Goat realizes it though. They drop very differently down towards Minas del Sur here. I think they're expecting a hot drop, which is fair enough, all things considered. I think that teams likely were looking for that, and the team in particular would be in a circle. They don't really have anything to lose. They're the only team that can catch up at this point in time. So Goat don't even want to risk it, right? As long as they get 5 or 6 points and then just basically hope the Inner Circle don't get a 22, 23 point game, they're fine. They really are chilling. So I think for Goat, they just need to play it slow. The fact that D plus are down here though is a little bit odd. That is a shift and a half as well towards the north side of the map.
Ooh, that's tasty. Up onto the north side. Hey, it's Tianba in a middle circle. Maybe, why not? You know what? I'm still holding out for the Team Secret chicken dinner as well to cap things off. The gap between first and second place right now, Blank, is 23 points, and Team Secret have 26 points. It's really bad. Not good at all. Very disappointing. Unfortunate stuff. So it'd be good to just close down on a little bit of a high, even if it is a commiseration victory. But I'm sure the other teams will certainly say that they deserve it more, that they want it more, because it is so important. You can see those tables on the right-hand side. With IC, the only team that can realistically catch up to Goat. Genji with an outside chance. Oh, maybe with a miracle.
The thing is that the Goat has absolutely caused a big problem for themselves, right? with this circle on the north side. It's a long journey for them. And in a circle didn't even go through. So I think for Goat here, it's a bit of a problem. You got to get through 9Z, you got to get through APG, D plus are all around here as well. 9Z is going to fight to the bitter end, knowing they're right on the precipice. D plus is not an easy team to push through. Neither is Alpha Gaming. So Goat might have caused themselves more problems than they fixed by moving down towards the south side.
Yeah, that's I mean, it's tough, but to be honest, it's unlikely because of where the circle is that you're going to have to push through these teams, right? They're going to want to get away as well. But it is when you get to the circle, sure, that they might be lining that zone and making things a lot harder. No casualties just yet. So hot drops, nah, they didn't happen. And I feel like thinking that teams towards the bottom of the table should hot drop, I absolutely oppose that. I think that there's too many moving parts down at the bottom. You drop on, if Reject say drop on GS or 9ZG, they lose a player and all of a sudden GS are hunting them down, OG are hunting them down, and they're at a disadvantage. I think you just play your game as best you can. IC, maybe they should go for that hot drop, right? They're the only team that could realistically gain a lot and lose not too much by going for that hot drop as basically the only team that could jump onto Goats. But Goats, obviously, they know what's up.
You basically lose nothing. Like, Gen G would need to have a 17-8 elim match and a chicken dinner to make that catch-up. So I think for Inner Circle, it's not even a case if you don't lose too much, you just don't lose anything by going for that. Other than potentially losing two or one players, right? 1 or 2 players. At that point, yeah, you've ruined your chances, but you gave it a good go. And you potentially basically put a line in the sand of what target you need to hit there. But we're taking a look at some of our teams towards the bottom. Loops, I think they're safe. In fact, they're absolutely safe. Maybe they're absolutely. I think it would require a lot. Yeah. It would require a lot. It would require a lot.
3 teams to do really well in the spots beneath them. But I mean, GS, they've started out well, right? They've got another point now. 9ZG not feeling so happy, and 9ZG as well, all the way down to that southwest side. And GS, they are slap bang in the middle of this circle. But very different scenarios for these 2 teams. Only 4 points behind now with that Elim found. GS. They might just be able to do it. They might be able to squeak through.
Some good shots coming through from Tiamba here, but no dice on the knocks just yet. Trying to take those shots, but not finding them. Another high ground outpost found by GS. They should be able to get the real player. In the meantime, around on the eastern side, they can't make it either. Game where a lot of teams realize that we're going to last chance whether we like it or not. So the Falcons immediately taken down by Wolves as Doran crashes directly through him.
Leave cover low, but Redox is there.
Redox
that flush they've got. There's still 1 or 2 more players going. Doran does take a lot of damage. Well, it connects 1 more, but it's not quite enough to finish the job. At range now is just sneaking away from him, but there is some damage done back towards the Wolves. But both of these 2 teams, middle of the pack teams right now, extracting points from one another, which actually means that they're not going to the teams on the bubbles.
It's good. Again, it always gets a little bit weird towards this final match where teams aren't really playing up to par because there's honestly nothing left to play for. I think for Wolves, Falcons, Alter Ego, these 3 teams, potentially even Gen G, I'd say more than likely Gen G, all those teams know that they've secured their position. There's no reason to push much further than this. What's asked of them is absolutely a calamitous approach to this lobby. There's like 20 elims on the game. That's hard. That's very hard. And the chicken dinner to finish off. And those things happen naturally. I don't think you can artificially force those games. It's a case where, we get a good first initial fight. We ran into a third party here. That team's fighting there. We can third party that as well. So only on 14, and then you can start to bump up the points from there. But yeah, it doesn't happen by a team just taking fight after fight after fight because it's just not possible.
When it doesn't happen.
Class mara bhai, class mara be.
Approach.
ये वाला Rafinha ने class mara be. बहुत अच्छा मारा ये.
But Snape and Alva still alive. Rafinha.
ये कौन सी लोग थे?
14 at close range, acting like a shotgun.
1v3 कर रहा है? 1v3 कर रहा है?
He's out of ammo completely though. Blank.
Fail दिया जी. Both hard.
Oh my goodness me.
Class मारा यार. Class मारा ये वाला बहुत अच्छा मारा.
Loop stay alive. Alter Ego close down their tournament. 1-0.
वो Rafinha 1v3 कर गया. 1v3 कर गया.
Go to finals.
Yeah, there's been some weird plays from Alter Ego towards the end of this. Honestly, again, that sort of felt like we're going to last chance. That's it. We're going to last chance, phase. Type of fight there. We head over towards credit fields. Nice bit of high ground to play around with. Wolves can play in there as well, but Tiamba in that position. Where's OG?
Where's OG?
I don't know. Blue zone somewhere.
Blue zone? अरे एक नाव हो जाएगा
Very close to getting knocked as well.
एक नाव हो जाएगा
Yeah, I think that might be coming through. That's hopefully being healed up. Yeah, okay, they've got some meds, so getting top back up. But yeah, that's a long way from the circle. We'll see when they appear. I mean, they started over on the southeast side, down towards Impala and Truck Stop.
Blue zone से नहीं निकल गए blue zone से निकल गए
Yeah, now they're getting to the zone now. That's a long journey. Very long journey to take. Reject coming through, taking a pretty swift rotation on the southeast side of things. This is around Loops, who, in those final moments, yep, they're able to make it happen, get into last chance. Reject don't really want to take shots at them too early here. For Reject, they are 12 points behind 9Z, who are coming in from the south side. And it's quite a safe path for 9Z as well. A lot of areas that they can deny sightlines from and stay undercover, under wraps as they move into this circle. Most of the most prominent positions are already taken towards the center here. So 9Z can secretive game moving forwards.
इतना बड़ा लंबा रोटेशन
they're close to D+, which is going to make it a lot harder when they inevitably the hills in the middle of this zone are really dominant in terms of sightlines, Blank, and that's what I think if I'm any team that's around, I'm worried about it. The access from the north side is the easiest approach, and that's where Igor is going to be guarding out. Reject. Ooh, they've been spotted. They've taken a knock here. An APG, they just won't leave him alone. This is playground bully levels.
It's hard to get I would 100% say Sarah is probably the best player on that squad. Him going down here is a massive nail in the coffin. For Reject, if they can't get him back into the fight, I don't think they're going to try for it. They have to just basically ask him to crawl into cover, and maybe then they can grab him. But even so, APG is going to be ready to pick him up quite quickly, and Ziol does exactly that. And with that, I would say the chances for Reject are becoming very slim. OG finally makes their way into the circle through water treatment. Team that desperately needs a large game now to get into last chance or risk getting taken out of the tournament here and now in the bottom 5.
Ooh. Well, that's prediction. They need 11 points to catch up to 9ZG, but that assumes that 9ZG don't get any points this match, Blank. We'll see if D+ can ruin their day. Just about skin through. GS, though, still another roadblock. That's what we were talking about before, right? There's so many moving parts down at the lower end of these tables that you can't just go for one team and target them and take them out the running and hope that you can catch up after that. Because there's about 4 teams really chasing for 9ZG's spot, and then a 5th team if you include 9ZG as well. It's definitely not something that you can just allow to happen. Losing a player like this, the teams get a massive benefit for it.
It's a nice spot for Reject. It's a shame they're not here with 4 players. Tiamba in a very similar location off towards their north side. Tiamba and Reject, you know, clasping hands right now. Bottom of the tables, just trying to make it happen. Ralph takes the knock there. That is from Papra Supermassive. Be able to find that one. Falcons now down to just 2.
Putting Papra Supermassive up on 99. Anywhere over 100 is where we were saying that safety zone is, right? In terms of getting to that last shot stage guaranteed. And I think they're going to be able to do a little bit more than that if Team Secret continue to allocate points to their tally. And crucially, not to the teams around the bubbles. Oh, goodness me. It is a bit lackluster for our teams on the bubble so far, but it is Miramar. This generally moves to the late game. Papra Supermassive want that century. They will claim it with Xerus as that final triple-digit maker.
Go thread the needle, by the way. Pretty good rotate. He just gets to the south side of Papra Supermassive and Team Secret in a fairly decent position as well. Finally shot over towards Wolves. And I think that it's going to be hard to resolve that position. I feel like because GOAT was able to grab that spot with near to no casualties, basically no utility required to get into that position as well, the Inner Circle's life now becomes really hard. To catch up to them whilst they're sat here, it's very difficult. I think that GOAT's going to remain in the circle for quite a while as well. Off the back of that, it's not looking promising for Inner Circle.
We'll see what this next stage brings, though. The circle will show itself in about 10 seconds now, blank. A lot of teams on that north side, so potential that they want to use that as a approach. You see D+ went for a wide wrap around that east edge, blank. And on that north side, they're pushing now in towards Gen G with OG poking their noses in. And you're right, I think this might be GOAT having a real solid time. And if Falcons give them 2 points, that's going to make Inner Circle's life so much harder as well. Now Valo goes very, very low, does go down. Redox now finds now to Killer Joe, who looks for the pump action. And he's good for it. Uh-oh, don't lose a player. They haven't been able to find an Elim just yet. Narvalo's still alive. Is there a third party? The Wolves chime on in. Narvalo's still bleeding out. The point's still not allocated. A lot of damage done by Redox. And the threading needles come on through from the off angles. Steps back, goes for the first aid. Goats looking like there's some trouble about it. The Wolves come on in. Maybe they'll steal this point against the Falcons. Look for that Elim. Look for that flush. The spray down around the corner. And they might just give that point over, but I think GOAT might be on the ropes.
I think GOAT is absolutely on the ropes here. They might even get that point. It will be picked up there. Get a single point. Inner Circle. Someone just answered their prayers.
Plenty of prayers going on right now, not least of which going towards the goodwill of OG. Do manage to get back across with his god. The transition's there for Tanky. Getting across even with the is a solid option. D+ right on the other side of this compound. Nades are going to start to come in fairly soon. GOAT not done and dusted just yet. 2 points here. Might be all they need to stay safe. The nade, though, is big. The Wolves want even more. Igor around the outside with the bouncer. Gets the knock. It's all up to Twix for GOAT to keep them alive. But this will be the second game in a row that they go down. They only got 1 point in that last Miramar. This time around, it could be a big fat 0. And it could spell their drop from the top 3. But it all relies on IC, what they can do. Twix, what have you got?
GOAT is certainly teasing Inner Circle. We'll put it that way. Giving them a chance 2 times in a row. For Inner Circle, absolutely just have to feel the pressure off them right now. Just play their game. And it is going to require a pretty big one, but that is the 0-pointer there from GOAT, setting the boundary at 133. Inner Circle with 4 players. It has been a while since we've seen a big Inner Circle game. We know they have the chops on to do it.
They do have that chance. A 9 Elim chicken dinner would be what they need to draw level. I don't know who wins the tiebreaker right now. We'll have to get that info fed over to you as soon as possible. APG going down to, well, one of their players going down to Supermassive, who are still breaking up the points tallies. They're on 101 now. Trying to school the rest of them, but it wasn't too long ago that they were in with an outside chance of getting into those top 3. Not to be this time. The crash for APG up towards OG.
OG. This is
with the
sad. Getting pincered by the 2 teams in the lobbies.
Huge. First pickup is good. Needs to finish that flush and gets away with it as well. The healing come through, so no opening casualties, but that nade does connect. And then moves towards the northeast side on this circle. I see you having a real tough time here. But it is really up to them to change that third place spot. In the meantime, they're back on board with OG. A Tanky's bleeding out. Maru is down. And D+, they're holding. They're not pushing out on this one.
Yeah, it feels cruel. It does feel cruel. I mean, D+ knows they don't have to move out on this one. Good shots from Tiamba, though. We'll find one from Loops. 2 players get into the building. Top's furious with D+. Like, why won't you join the fight? Sends a big nade over towards him. Wakes them up out of their reverie.
The stupor shaken from their eyelids. Those Loops are burning away. That is a flush coming on through. You need that first aid to come off very, very quickly. Last player for Loops. They've done enough, though, today to stay in for the last chance guaranteed. And I mean, that's as good as they could have hoped, really. I think for Loops, it's better than certainly where they were earlier in today on that 11th place position. They're up in 9th, they're over 100 points. They're feeling pretty chill with it.
IZANA just playing things out slow and makes sense as well. Good day from AKOP over towards D+. They're holding their own in one of the most difficult fights they have ever been in. Well, the assistance of APG, big knocks galore.
Game पलट गया.
Oh, that point went over to the nade from top.
Game पलट गया.
Across the open ground, they have to
Game
shake
पलट
out
गया.
this compound.
OG और APG दोनों DK पे मार.
Nade still trying to catch them, and there's the
यहाँ से अगर
do claim that one back.
OG इतना
Osal's on the deck. Can he find the shot? Stands
बहुत
up.
बढ़िया एक बहुत बढ़िया. हरी नेट आएगा
AKOP gets that flush going through. A nice pick up there. Find it again. Plus now it's 4 elims found for OG. They want to keep this one going, and it's APG to try and stop them. Bouncer off the wall.
बहुत बढ़िया इसको टाइम पे निकलो. बहुत बढ़िया टाइम पे निकलो.
APG down on 2.
नहीं हाँ बढ़िया
और बहुत बढ़िया. OG and found wanting.
This is India fighting for their lives here, for their tournament lives, versus two of the most insanely strong squads in their lobby. Not holding their own right now. It's impressive. It's definitely impressive. It's a market improvement, but it comes right at the end of the day. They've got a little further to go here with 9ZG getting 2 points. It only makes things worse.
9Z वहाँ पे टाइम से यार.
And dusted.
9Z वहाँ पे 10 किल 4 किल ले लीजिए.
Resurgence, but it was not to be.
Top गया. 1 किलो. टॉप को मारना है. टॉप को मारना है guys.
Onto Doc, a little taste of his own medicine. And Top now the last to stand in a 1 versus 3. Can he play on the inside? Can he play this boundary hard enough? The DBS does so much, and OG take them down. Blank, they have 6 elims, but with 9ZG getting 4, they're moving further and further off into the horizon. It's still necessary for OG to go further.
No matter what happens in the 6th game of the day, at least India puts to bed all the rumors right there about the firepower not quite being up to scratch. Versus the 2 top teams in the lobby that are able to come out victorious with 3 players on board. I genuinely think this has been a great learning experience for them, and I can only imagine that when they play in their regional tournaments, it's going to be very scary for some of the other teams if they come back from this boot camp. But let's see if they can make it into last chance now. Like you said, the target is still moving. It was 10 points. It's still now 9.
And not only that, the team that is likely to take down 9ZG, or most likely rather, is GS. And if they get the points, then they're just closer to that 11th point boundary as well. And I mean, it is a real domino chain that needs to fall for OG to make this one. Crashing through up on a supermassive might be the way to do it. If they're preoccupied with Team Secret, maybe they can extract value. And getting over here and getting the third party on it, I don't think this is a terrible idea for OG. They do need the points.
I think for OG, they have to start sweeping now and get a little aggressive with it. I mean, they are looking very good in this match so far. Nico takes shots down towards Dora. I think that's an aggressive push out from him. But I think the Wolves realize they need to leave from this compound at some point. Inner Circle's been far too quiet this game. Absolutely far too quiet. I think that they're worried about giving away those points. They're worried about going down early. But they still need a strong position in the circle. I can forgive being quiet as long as you've got a strong spot with 2 players already down. It's done. It is done.
It's all done and dusted. No third place change around for them. Icy could not make the transition from that high ground. Goats lock in third place. Unless the Wolves pull off a miracle here, Blank, it would be a 102 towards the top. Chance. It would be, what is that, like a 31-point jump? Players, they're right on the outside. Trying to move around this fight. WizGod moving into position. Maybe they're going to get a third party here. They do have cover off from
हाँ
this.
थर्ड पार्टी अपने को ये अपन भी करेंगे यार उसी कर
Ratto boy.
This is an unbelievable battle for last chance, by the way. We have 9th downwards still in, barring reject in 15th place.
अब push करना
It is unbelievable what we're doing right now. She still hasn't jumped in on this fight. I feel like they could have come in a little bit sooner.
तो कितना एक और दिया ना बहुत
They
बड़ी
desperately do need.
86
The
पे है
Wolves down on their last leg.
Massive out.
अपन और एक
Now alive,
ले सकते हैं
Wolves
अपन
looking
एक
to get
तो
those reses, Dora and crawling forward.
एक बंदा और बचा
More preoccupied with getting closer to the zone, but as teams start to fall, the placements
एक
and
बंदा और बचा ले सकते हैं
closing
अपन
potential positions eke away from them. It is getting really
आई बंदे बंदे आ गए रे अपने पे
as GS move up to clash.
अपने पे बंदे बंदे आ गए निकलो 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 बहुत बढ़िया
Just taking shots, they find one. I feel like OG should have made this push over to the west side a little bit sooner. They're looking for center right now, looking for those placement points to see them ahead. But what they don't know is that
Ratto
9Z is currently on a 4 side on the east, but Ratto Boy currently dealing with Tiamba. Needs to close this out. They can still get the reses.
QZ on the corner.
नहीं यार
In the
इसको
smoke,
मार दिए
Ratto Boy
रे
still not in the sidelines.
इसको
Has another nade. He's moving around. They've got the players stepping up to deal with it, but they haven't connected just yet. In with a shotgun. Now for another chance. The reses can come through. In the meantime, Team Secret taking down the Wolves on this north side of the circle. Ratto Boy still scrabbling around. There's a big nade on the airburst, and he's able to get a flush. Another nade cooking. And they're not stepping forwards. They're not moving in. They're waiting for these reses, and immediately he steps out and re-knocks them. It's still only 2 players for him to deal with. He's charging. Ratto Boy scurries on in around the outskirts of Tianba's compound, and finally they're able to snap the trap, and it is loot going down. But that is not what I wanna see. To be fair for Tiamba, I wasn't expecting great things today, but they made me hope with the position that they had something could happen. But the teams now challenging for 11th place are getting fewer and further between.
I mean, for Tiamba, just push the guys. Come on. I know you want to confirm it, but it's one player. You just play from both angles. He's got no smokes to work with. I think they're terrified here. Again, I would be as well. The adrenaline must be pumping. The squad and the nerves must be an all-time high. OG suffering 86 points. 9Z starting to earn those placement points too. Makes this all the harder now. GS will play it inside the building, and 9Z continuing to try and put up more points going forward. Tiamba not quite making the fix out yet. They will be out to open zone. It's hard. It's tough. It's scary.
And there's the backstop for GS getting taken down. AKOP goes down to an aid from Wolves as well, as that bleed out comes through. And another point added to the tally for 9ZG. For OG, it's all up to Aru for Orangutan. They need him to come up trumps, but Tiamba are making a move as well. They're flexing out across. On 83 points, they are also within striking distance. 9ZG have to get a lot of elims need to be found. There's the flush, leaving Aru alone.
86 points. Incredible improvement. Much better gameplay overall, but it just came slightly too late. I do think they'll be fearsome again when they head back to their own regionals, but I'm not sure they can go too much further here. Good shots from Jafar down towards Baton on Wolves. Well, yeah, I think Tiamba does have a good chance here. 9Z has to leave this building, but 9Z has to go down soon. They can't be gaining too many more placement points now. Otherwise, Tiamba's chances are really, really not looking good. For GS, this is the team that has the greatest ability to jump out of the bottom 5 into a safety zone above 9Z. The circle just about envelops them now.
I mean, 5th place is 3 points.
Top
Which
5
means that guaranteed is 98 at least for 9ZG, even if they go down here and now. Wolves 4 points, jump up into 4th.
Good shot.
This is how you want it to start to happen. And if Tiamba are going to be able to pick them up, then brilliant. Okay, they're moving through with the bullets and lining up these shots. They have the angle. GS denied the points opportunities. They're closer, but it's not quite a cigar, as it's not going to flare into existence. Tiamba moving out flank. With Eagle crashing up, they could be getting another point here. Bond on the backlines forces him over. Aru is still playing as well. The battle for this bubble is so close.
That angle from Bond is incredible. I love that. On top of the boxes, looking through the top windows. I don't think anyone expected that when it took that. In their hearts towards this end game. Aru looking to go further beyond. Jafar has to look towards him. One shot is found, but Jafar goes down, and this opens things up now for Tiamba, who've been down their luck all day. That 14 elim game might be doing it.
GS with 2 players alive. They're looking to chase the bubble. Will it be enough? Are they far enough ahead of Tiamba that it won't matter? Are GS going to take that spot from them? It's all in the lurch here, Blank. But you just want to close it down now, and that's how you start. Tiamba trying to rise from their own ashes as they launch the nade assault forwards. It's looking good. They've got it in control, but with 1 player left standing, Bond's gonna spot him. The spray down there does not connect, and Tiamba over the top. 11 elims, 12 maybe if they can find it. Tiamba get the chicken dinner, but Blank, is it enough?
I think they might have just made it from that moment. Some great finishing gameplay. It was wobbly towards the middle of the game, but they've got to now wait and see. Does Bond have a license to qualify? Let's wait and see.
Oh my goodness me, Blank. It's so down to the wire here. I don't think 9ZG held on though. I think either way that you slice that one, it's not going to be the case that they survive this tournament. They are going to be getting pushed out here. GS, Tiamba, both looking to try and climb up. OG pipped at the final moment as well. It was everybody who was on the chase, on the hunt, looking for it, alive in those final circles. And we're waiting for the number crunchers to do their job because, honestly, at this point, it's just impossible to have kept track. Oh, Tiamba, though. I wonder if they know something we don't because they are smiling. They are looking good. Not so happy in the GS camp, so maybe it's not come through just yet. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, my goodness. The team's on the edge right now. I don't know if they know.
We'll have to wait and see. The desk is going to break it down. But either way, I think it's clear that this has been the most exciting group we have ever seen. What a close down. 8 teams from the bottom of the leaderboard, all giving it their all in those final moments. It's never over until it's over. And Tiamba proves just that. But are they a point shy or a point clear? Whew.
Oh. I think it might be a tiebreaker. Blank, I think it might be a tiebreaker here. On the bubble. I just don't know. I mean, it's so tense. I can't figure it out. Oh my God, I need these stats as fast as we can get them. This is really what I'm waiting for at the moment. Our top 3 also locked in. Blank, APG atop the pack, got held down. IC couldn't do it. They tried to crash into Tiamba themselves. But I think, you know what? My best maths right now is that it's a 3-way tiebreaker on the bubble. I just don't know who has it. I don't know if that's
celebration
correct.
Here.
I don't know if that's correct.
Celebration in the 9Z.
You think? You think they've held on?
Well, I mean, the admin's just giving them the thumbs up. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. There's a little bit of a spoiler potentially.
होना चाहिए मैंने अपना ओटी का यार होना चाहिए सही है कि बदल आपको
Are you kidding me? The last game curse could be broken right here, right now with Tiamba. Man, I tell you what, if they did it, it was 100% due to that insane angle and stealing all those eliminations right there at the end. What a crazy finish, Max.
Peeking through the windows on top of that box, able to successfully transition over to this ridge, eliminate 9Z, go for the push, make sure none of these high ground northern teams can even compete with that kind of oppression. You are settling down on this lobby. And Bond there just with the buggy push up, trying to go for the squash, but doesn't quite secure it at the end. And they just overwhelm that final player. Bond, what a performance. 5 eliminations, aching 4 eliminations. Neptura, those two guys carried this game hard on their shoulders, but was it enough for them to make sure they at least can survive a little bit longer and go into the last chance?
Oh gosh, only time will tell, but I tell you what, Tiamba did everything they possibly could. I mean, generally, if you have a zone where you've got that compound, but it's, you know, low ground behind a hill, or rather in front of a hill, right? Many teams would just go, we're just gonna hunker down, we're gonna be here, we're gonna let those teams fight it out, we're just gonna wait a little longer. Not Tiamba. Tiamba went, yeah, we have the compound, we're gonna push up this hill and make sure those other teams can't do a thing, and that's exactly the attitude we needed to see out of this team, because Tiamba, we all know it, they were in so much danger going out. Have they done it? We don't know, but this is the actual best shot they could have given themselves.
Man, these guys were out here like stranded in the desert for a month. They were so thirsty.
That push onto that warehouse, Nitra, was, I have to say, it was terrible. Not what we wanted to see.
No, there were so many weird plays coming in from a lot of these teams, and I think it's just that desperation coming through, right? It's the final game. There's always a little bit of chaos in that final game, but man, yeah, I mean, at this especially, I mean, if Serafina doesn't have any bullets whatsoever, and he's dodging around while you're trying to shoot him with a shotgun, that nade is insane. But, like, come on, you gotta kind of rethink some things here.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the replay of that Eastern fight. D plus Kia, APG, and Orangutan. That was a fight for the history books. India trying to defend their spot there, maybe trying to make it into last chance, but unfortunately they couldn't quite win that final fight. But yeah, AKOP, that nade! Oh my goodness, then they just go on to D plus APG, don't even have time to fight back. It was such a good fight, but unfortunately, it felt like after that fight, Niptra, all that confidence was just lost. All the steam for this team just disappeared in thin air.
I'm so sad for them, because it was looking so good. As you said, they came off of a brilliant fight there, immediately push forward, go, we can do this, and then just miss the timing completely. I'm so upset for them, because it could have been so good. We could have seen a very different result, but it is what it is, you know? They just, that's it.
Yeah.
Learn for next year.
That angle from Bond. And
I know.
This is so cool when you have such intricate map knowledge of these buildings, of the terrain. You're like, I know what I can do to abuse that position to our advantage and create an opening to make that move into the circle. As you go and check out the replays on the rotations of these squads, and actually looking at the drops, Jamba, very lucky here, Niptra, not having to really budge too much away from the eastern side of La Cobreria. And because of that, free ticket into the mid to late game section of this match, and they can just use that full man advantage to overwhelm and conquer this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just, seeing Orangutan over there just reminded me of when John and Blank were like, where are they? We don't actually see them, but they showed up eventually, right? They showed up, and I did like their gameplay. It's more towards their gameplay style, which I've really liked, that we're seeing more of their usual play style come through here as the days have progressed. Unfortunately, a little bit too late to really do much, I think, here, but still a really valiant effort. I did like those rotations coming through. They just, in the end, just had to send it to center and hope for the best, which they did get 1 point, but at what cost?
Yeah, well, you know what? We can see the points ringing out right here. Tiamba, 22 points. OG bust out 12. And you know what? I got to give big props to OG, man. For a team, their first time here in PMGC, I'm super proud of what they were able to accomplish. And, you know, rotation-wise, they're at the level of all these squads in my eyes. You know, I mean, we saw them right there at the end. You know, they were waiting for the third party, waiting for it. And we were like, oh my gosh, if they time this perfectly, they got this, right? But when it comes to difference from PMGC versus every other tournament, that 1 second reaction time, right? Their push would have worked in every other tournament here, but here you got to be that one extra step quicker to make that push. And if you're too late, you're going to miss all the action. And unfortunately, That is the problem, I think, with OG. But you know what? I'll tell you what, guys. It's such a quick fix. You know, it's something that now that they have this experience under their belt, I'm so excited to see what they can do next year.
I mean, so cool to see, of course, India back in PMGC in this stage for Group Green. And Orangutan showed hope, showed potential, and I'm sure that given even more time, that region is going to prosper on the international stage. Don't forget, we do have True Rippers in Group Red, so that's going to be very entertaining. But Alter Ego, Niptura, the boys! What's happened on Miramar? Absolute. It was, again, I'm going to have to use this word for Alter Ego too. It was terrible. What are they're just falling apart so quickly. There's no substance to their presence on these Miramar matches, and I even forgot they existed. To be completely honest, Alter Ego had a chance, and I think they fumbled it big time.
Yeah, I think they did. It was so weird because we're used to seeing such a big presence from them in these Miramar games, right? Alter Ego tend to step up when it comes to Miramar, and today there was no step up. It was a step down for them. These pushes they were making felt very desperate. They felt very just like, you know, just go for it and see what happens. It's like, that's not Alter Ego.
I just looked before this game where they actually, wait, they got 5 points today.
Yeah, on the whole day.
They had 100 points at the start of the day, and they ended up 105. Oh, Alter Ego, please. No, don't do it again in last chance, please.
Please, please.
Last chance is going to be stacked, guys. Stacked. So from Group Green, right, we got IC. We got Genji, Wolves, Alter Eagles, Falcons, Loops, Super Papa Massive Blaze, and what's going to be that last team, right? That's the question. What is it going to be? Did Tianma, did GG Bond do it? 5 eliminations. It's going to be so dang close, dude. It's so crazy how every single time, we said it all tournament long, Max, right? How these things are usually decided by just one singular point. So that's why, for everybody wondering if we're being like hypercritical of certain plays, right? Because that point could have been the difference, right, Max?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't want to look back on an entire tournament and be like, that one elimination you didn't flush because you were focusing on something else, you just miss out on qualifying to the next stage. You don't want that situation to happen to you. So I do think we're going to have a tiebreaker here, Niptra. I think it is going to happen as we check out the leaderboards very soon. I think we are going to have a few tiebreakers, possibly. That's my guess.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. We've had teams on ties all 3 days, haven't we? I mean, somewhere on the leaderboard, there's been at least 2 teams with a tiebreaker having to come into play. So for it to come down to the last match and there still be a tie would not surprise me at all, Jigs.
Yeah, there is a tie. Again, folks, it would be decided by chicken dinners first, correct?
Yes.
I believe so. All right, well, let's go ahead and see it right now. It's 9Z! 9Z, hold on! By the chicken dinner. Are you kidding me? 3-way tie. Wow.
The 3-way tie coming out from 9Z Globan, Tiamba, and GS, but those 2 chicken dinners lock it in for 9Z here. America's going to have a new team making it to the last chance stage, meaning that Tiamba, GS Team, Orangutan, Reject, and Team Secret end their PMGC adventure for 2025 prematurely and will be going home after these matches.
Wow, Neptune. It looks like those handshakes, right? It looks like those thumbs up that we saw from the admins run through. 9Z, hang on by an inch. Oh my gosh. I'll tell you what, if I'm 9Z, I ain't got no more nails after this one. That was close.
That was insane. GG's, but we gotta say big old GG's to the top 3. Oh, wait, hang on a second. Daily MVP, it is gonna be Chips. DK coming out on top there, not quite eclipsing APG for that first spot, but dang, Chips taking in the Daily MVP. That title is his.
Yeah, daily MVP for day 3. This guy's been an absolute menace for the entirety of D+. Mike, it could have been Notable also, we'll have to see. But here it is, Group Green MVP, the man, the myth, the legend. It's Top. He's back once again to claim another PMGC MVP award. The Grand Finals, that's going to be next on his list for sure.
Well deserved too. I mean, in day 1 alone, he had...
So, thank you guys for joining my stream. थोड़ा डीप हार्टेड मतलब हेवी हार्टेड बोलना पड़ रहा है। वो जी थी जो सेकंड लास्ट मैच में हुआ, अपने को पॉइंट्स में ही मिले, वो सब अगर वही चीज अपने को सेकंड लास्ट मैच में थोड़े पॉइंट्स मिलते, लास्ट मैच इतना अपना अच्छा गया, अगर वो चीज होता तो अपन थे टॉप लेवल। लेकिन मेरे को भी ऐसा लग रहा है कि थोड़ा अपना मिसकम्युनिकेशन हुआ। मिसकम्युनिकेशन अपने टीम में था। ऑब्वियसली भाई बॉयज भी अपने बहुत पहली बार, मुझे तो पहली बार खेलने गई, पहली बार खेलने गई है, इतने बड़े स्टेज पे खेल रही है, थोड़ा तो होगा भाई। लेकिन हाँ, ये एक टीम थी जिससे मेरे को ऐसा बहुत उम्मीद था। कोचिंग वॉचिंग तो टीम जिससे मेरे को था कि हाँ भाई ये बंदे कुछ अलग है, इनको चांस नहीं मिल रहा, लेकिन चलो दे फाइट वेरी वेल, फाइट वेरी वेल, उससे मैं बहुत खुश हूँ। अब चलेगा, आपको मैं कल मिलूंगा एक नई टीम के साथ। कल हम लोग गेम खेलेंगे, लास्ट ऑफ जो अपना बात को कंटिन्यू करते, तो शायद परसों जेली आएगा ना सर्वाइविंग स्टेज में, तो फिर परसों से अब जेली को सपोर्ट। तब तक के लिए मुझे दुआओं में याद रखना, टेक केयर, मम्मी पापा का रिस्पेक्ट करो, सबको अपना ध्यान दो, सबका ध्यान दो, मम्मी पापा का ध्यान दो, खुद के ऊपर ध्यान दो, एकदम अच्छे से रहो, जिंदगी जियो। तब तक के लिए मैं लेना चाहता हूँ सबसे अलविदा, और कल मिलूंगा आपसे एक नए ब्रांड न्यू स्ट्रीम के साथ।